Best Ball Breakfast. I'm Peter Overzet. We're drafting Best Ball Mania 6 teams for $2 million today. Can hopefully sneak in a couple of solo drafts. Then we'll be joined by Pat Kerrane, then Mike Leone, and then batting cleanup today, none other than the man who won BBM2, in case you forgot, and my former chess coach. That you might have actually forgotten. ChessLiam. It's going to be a good day here on Best Ball Breakfast. Let's roll.
It really isn't that hard, guys. You just go top two, win it, win it.
Okay, I think we can be done here at running back.
You only have 3 running backs. This roster is littered with game theory, arbitrage, exploits, and theoretic reasoning.
Bro, light mode, my eyes, dude.
I don't know. I prefer that move more in a time box contest.
Bro, have you ever scrolled so far down that, like, there's no more names, bro?
Don't do drugs, kids. Draft and drive instead.
You can't have it both ways, dude. Quid pro quo.
All right, GMs, how are we doing here tonight? What is up? Yes, trying to hop in the jump pre-draft. I did hop in one and went to tip people off in the Discord, and I was Mr. 12 of 12 in this one. It had snap filled. That's just how she goes. We'll see if we can sneak in 2 solo drafts, though, here now that we got the 20-second clocks. Let me get my board shared here. I got the 103, and it feels like go time. Feels like we need to start ramping up the volume, getting these drafts in. The start of the season is bearing down on us quickly. I think what's the most recent tweets I've seen? 45 days until the start of the season. Scott Hansen was out there retweeting how many or sharing how many days until red zone. All right, let's see what we got here. Not a full badge draft in this one. Some people have been sitting in there, it looks like. Justin Jefferson here. We have Chase go, then Lamb. Sure, we can do Jefferson. Let me get these ranks out of here. I like to raw dog these first drafts here. Just me and my little friend, Mr. ADP. How are we all doing in the chat this morning? Everybody have a good weekend? I do, as you can see here, and I have to say this for full transparency. I think I mentioned this on a show. My slow draft seal has been broken. It started with me getting in my 2 Dalmatian teams. And then this morning, I went to enter a puppy when I went for a walk with April, and it was only slows, apparently. Did not realize it. Joined one, figured I fat fingered a slow draft. Then joined a second one, and then I was like, oh, no, these are slow drafts. So that's where I'm at now. I wanted to see what number Best Ball Mania draft this is for me. Number 72. So we will cross the halfway point on this show today. Get that going there. And we'll be good to go. Kendrick Park getting excited for the dopamine rush of being serviced as an audio listener. I got you. Let me tell you how this first round's cooking. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. Then we go Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Malik Neighbors, and Ashton Genty to get us underway in round 1. I feel like so much has happened since the last Best Ball Breakfast. Like news-wise, we obviously had the Rashee Rice thing. What else have we had? I feel like there were a couple pieces of news. Obviously, the Najee stuff has been a little bit more cryptic as far as him and what's going on with the eye. I don't know. I feel like we've had lots of news. Things are going to start coming fast and furious, though, with training camps now underway as well. Addison news, yes. Mr. took the week or the week off. That would be wild. Took the day off of work just to be here. You know what? I appreciate that. Love to hear it. Love to be contributing to local economies and the workforce underachieving so we could all talk about best ball. All right, here. I do Bucky Irving a lot here. I don't mind that. Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown. We could play Bucky here. Bucky, Justin Jefferson to start from the 3-hole. Oh, yeah, the Jaydon Blue is lazy, but then I think that was debunked, I believe. that the narrator of that report was not a trusted source, is what I believe some Dallas Cowboys beats are saying. So it might be time to scoop the dip on Jaydon Blue. What's his ADP these days? Jaydon Blue is going at 151. 151. Still a little pricey in that range. Yes, second round signings galore. There was a little panic about that early on. That seems to be taken care of. All right, Chase Brown goes. I was going to consider a little Chase Brown there. I've been taking a ton of Garrett Wilson in this range. I'm honestly like I normally play mostly by ADP in these early range. Let's do a little IKB. I think Garrett Wilson is my favorite, but I just click him so goddamn much. Let's do Devontae Adams. I have a hard time clicking Marvin Harrison over Devontae Adams. I don't know why. I can't do that. So we'll start Bucky Irving, Justin Jefferson, and Devontae Adams. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. So wait, what's the Will Levis? Did he get cut? I honestly missed this one. I saw the Noah Fant stuff. So now everybody's very excited about Arroyo. What's the Will Levis thing here? Undergoing season-ending surgery on his right shoulder. Injury that he sustained early last year before further aggravating it later in the season. Levis has been unable to shake the discomfort, and his shoulder is still bothering him. So who's Cam Ward's backup now? Who is Cam Ward's backup? It is Brandon Allen. Oof. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. I don't know about that. I mean, Will Levis, no one's excited about Will Levis, but if the next option is Brandon Allen, I don't know about that either. But yeah, Noah Fant getting cut. That's honestly pretty intriguing for Arroyo. I mean, AJ Barner's still there. But if Arroyo is talented, which his prospect profile was pretty intriguing, he's definitely on the menu as an 18th round tight end there, which is nice to have that cleared out, because Noah Fant, I think, is just good enough to keep Arroyo not fantasy relevant, but not good enough to be drafted himself, which is kind of an unfun spot to be for our purposes. So to clear that out and now just say, hey, Arroyo just needs to be good enough to beat AJ Barner. All right, now we got something. There. Chris Diaz says new Brock Bowers price is ridiculous. I got him. I did an eliminator draft this morning after I entered my puppy slow draft. I did an eliminator draft where I got Brock Bowers at pick 28. Pick 28. Not the beginning of the third round, 4 picks into the third round. I was like, what are we doing? I know I made the video on the eliminator. I like the late round tight end stuff. I like the 3 late tight end angle. But if you're going to give me goddamn Brock Bowers at pick 28, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it every time. In fact, I took him at 103 last night in the Pros vs. Joes tight end premium best ball contest over on the FFPC. So I will take Brock Bowers just about anywhere. All right, we're going to make these picks at the 4-5 turn, and then we are going to pour some coffee here. We are on the clock. We got James Cook sliding a little bit here. Yeah, let's do some James Cook. This is in tribute to our guest, Liam Murphy. Liam Murphy has never seen James Cook in the back end of the 4th round because he always takes him in the beginning of the 4th round. But let's take James Cook at pick 410 here. Mr. Mister got Brock at 30 last week. Yes, it's time to gobble it all up. Slurp it up. Slurp up that Brock Bowers dipperino, brosivs. I don't know, man. I don't have the iced coffee. I don't got it. Let's see. I'm going to make this pick. Cortland Sutton on the board. Okay, he goes Sutton. So we could go with our 3rd running back. We could grab a wide receiver here. Let's do some Jalen Waddle here. We got Jalen Waddle opposite Bucky Irving in week 17. We'll pass on Kenneth Walker and Chuba here. This is, when did I blink and Kenneth Walker moved up in ADP? I feel like this always happens to me on Best Ball Breakfast, where I'm like, I'm pretty sure Kenneth Walker's ADP was like 57 or 58 for most of the summer, the back end of round 5. And then I just wake up on July 21st and his ADPs, the beginning of the 5th round. How did my draft last night end up? I can show you real quick. I posted a screenshot of it on Twitter. Let's see. So this is, it's best ball. It's 20 rounds. It's tight end premium, multiple flex spots. The room was actually really wide receiver hungry, so I wasn't able to get as many of the wide receiver targets that I generally wanted. But I had some really nice team stacks that I was excited about. I had Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith. I had the backdoor bear stack, so Caleb Williams to Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. Like I said, I had Brock Bowers on this team, had Bucky up top, Trevion Henderson, David Montgomery, DJ Giddens. Did a little double Carolina backs there, kind of a bet against Chuba Hubbard with Rico and Trevor Etienne. Also got Miles Sanders. And then I was pretty worried about my wide receivers because I was just Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith through 5 rounds, came back, got Khalil Shakur in the 8th, Luther Burden in the 11th. But then this stretch made me feel pretty good. Christian Kirk, Rashad Bateman, Romeo Dobbs in 12th, 13th, 14th, and then got Jalen Noel, one of my favorites, in the 19th. And you will be stunned, absolutely gobsmacked, flabbergasted to know that at pick 1810, I took the player that I claim to not love, but apparently do love, Dalton fucking Schultz. But I will just say at 1810, Dalton Schultz was going cheaper in tight end premium than he was in half point PPR. So that was my pros versus Joe's draft there. Let me pour a little coffee before we make this pick at 610. All right. Got some good wide receiver options here at 610. Godwin's falling. We could double him up with Bucky. Jerry Jeudy here. Oh, this was just 13 minutes ago. I saw some people talking Chris Godwin not cleared for team activities. He is going to drop because of that. So let's let the Chris Godwin price settle before we grab shares of him, despite having the Bucky and Jalen Waddle correlation going. We'll let someone else grab Chris Godwin for now. You saw how quickly I drafted Khalil Shakur. Yeah, when I only had 3 wide receivers through 7 rounds, Khalil Shakur was a port in that storm for me. All right, so everybody is very scared about Chris Godwin. He's now sliding to pick 75. I might have to consider him here. Okay, he does go. He does go here. I think we can just keep grabbing wide receivers. This is not a wide receiver heavy room. I've been kind of splitting my Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden exposures here. Let's go ahead and grab Jaden Reed on this one. The 2 other available wide receivers there, Jacoby Myers and Ricky Pearsall. As my 5th wide receiver, I'd rather take a bigger swing than Jacoby and then Ricky Pearsall again. I'm not super worried with him opening up on PUP along with Ayuk. That was another piece of news. I knew there was like 9 pieces of news that we forgot. But again, I just generally tend to pass on those players while their price is falling. I've been doing it with Addison. And once those prices settle, I'll start to get back in on it. But yeah, we're going to let Pearsall drop a little bit. And I would prefer the Green Bay wide receivers to Pearsall right now. Truthfully, I've been preferring them even before he opened up on PUP, but certainly now. So here's the team through 7 rounds. I feel like generally on these Best Ball Breakfast streams, I have a little more running backs through 7 rounds, but we just got a 2-5 build going. Bucky Irving and James Cook, and then Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, and Jaden Reed. So lots of backdoor or cheap stack options with our wide receivers and 2 good running backs up top. Diggs not on PUP. Okay. Yeah, I saw some Diggs chatter there. Okay, yes, that was another piece of news. JB the Tech saying Arande Gadsden shining at camp. That's one where it's like what you'd really want for Gadsden is for one of Conklin or Disley to get the Noah Fant treatment. And I don't know their contract situation, if that's even a possibility. But even if Gadsden is interesting. It is such a logjam there at tight end with two veterans who coaches and teams have trusted over the past few years. So I want to get excited about Gadsden. I'm definitely going to keep close tabs on him. He, all of those guys right now are not fun clicks. So if we could have some kind of clarity or at least one piece be removed from that equation, I would certainly be into Gadsden in the same way we are about Arroyo now. Where do you think Rice's ADP should settle for you to want to click him again? Yeah, I think that's a good question. I was pretty out on him at the second round, even before that. But in these Best Ball Mania style contests, let me make a pick here real quick. Igbuka went right before me. That would have been nice to have. I think Hawkinson makes sense. Hawkinson slides all the way to pick 94. I have Jefferson, so we could potentially set up a McCarthy double stack. Yeah, let's grab our first tight end and paired up with Jefferson there as an ADP value. I think fifth round seems good for Rashee Rice. You're in that range there with the Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley, Travis Hunter, Jalen Waddle types. I certainly want Rashee Rice over Rome Odunze. I think for me, that's a pretty decent price. And then where did he go in this draft? Rashee Rice went at pick 39. So yeah, I'm going to be taking guys like Tet, definitely Worthy, definitely Evans. Give me Pickens over him. DJ Moore. He feels like a fifth round guy to me. Let's see here. We could do Baker. We have plenty of options past that. Let's grab Travis Etienne here. This is kind of a lack of creativity pick, I guess. Don't love this range here. Yeah, that was a weird spot. So we go Bucky, James Cook, Travis Etienne at running back, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Reed at wide receiver, TJ Hawkinson at tight end there. This is normally a spot if you have a quarterback in here. That's a nice click. I guess I could have done the Baker with Bucky. It's a bummer that we missed out on Igbuka by one, because then we could have had, Bucky, Igbuka, and then Baker there. But I'm sitting here thinking, obviously McCarthy's a target, Stafford's a target, Tua's a target, Jordan Love's a target. So then pairing up my running back as my first stack partner. On the flip side, you have this entire queue of potential quarterbacks, and they can often get depleted very quickly. So maybe I should have just pulled the trigger on Baker there. Charlie asks, have I been in the Badge Bros brawl streets yet? I have not, but I have good news. We're doing Off and On the Clock tomorrow, and we're going to do the whole show dedicated to the Badge Bros brawl. Love the contest format. Have already seen tons of good feedback, and excited for John and Nez to catch me up to speed. And as things normally go, once we have a whole show talking about it, talking strategy for it, then I will start piling into those Badge Bros brawls with everyone else. I completely agree with this take from Tim. Tim says, I'm starting to feel more and more that ETN is just going to be given every opportunity to fail first before we see Tuten. I think that should be, I think that's like the median outcome, the most likely outcome for this situation. The issue is I think Tuten is really, really good. But again, I'm going to practice humility in these spots. Tuten is my most drafted running back. But there are going to be spots here where I grab Travis Etienne. And I think back to, the prices aren't comparable, but just last year, there were two spots like this, right? There was Rachaad White and Bucky Irving. And I loved drafting Bucky Irving last year. And I had to force myself to take a little Rachaad White. The same thing happened with James Cook and Ray Davis. I also fucking loved Ray Davis, and I had to force myself to take some James Cook. Those situations splintered and went in the opposite directions. In one case, it was the cheap rookie running back that was the uber smash. And in the other case, James Cook leads the league in touchdowns. And those kinds of backfields where there's ambiguity as to how things are going to shake out, because they can break so clearly in one direction or the other, I want to be taking stabs on both. And the one nice thing about Travis Etienne relative to James Cook or Rachaad White, they were way more expensive last year than Travis Etienne is this year. So I'm not finding it too hard to grab some shares of Travis Etienne, despite having pretty massive Tuten bags. Let's go ahead and just lock up JJ McCarthy here. We don't have a quarterback yet. I guess we could have maybe pushed him around the turn. I don't think the Addison drafter or anyone behind us would be interested in McCarthy, but I also don't have anything else I absolutely have to click here. So we'll just lock up McCarthy. So we get that nice double stack. McCarthy basically at ADP, Jefferson, our first round pick, and then Hawkinson as the ADP slider. We get him at pick 94. I've been trying to click as much Tyjae Spears as I can right now. I'm also debating if I should pull the trigger on another quarterback, but I think with the Tua out, the Stafford out, and McCarthy already on the squad, I think we can push it. And then by taking Tyjae Spears, we can also include Mr. Cameron Ward in the quarterback queue as well. So we'll pass on grabbing another quarterback and get Tyjae Spears here as our fourth running back. Take Najee at 140. I'll consider it. I will consider it if Najee is here at 142. Is Judkins completely off my board? No, I think everybody has a price for sure. So Judkins goes at pick 116 here. I think I do prefer Tyjae Spears to Quinshon Judkins, but I think once we're in that range, I think it's back on the menu. I mean, we're talking about a 50 pick fall. If someone wanted to say that him and Dylan Sampson should be going essentially like back-to-back in back-to-back rounds or fairly closely, I would buy that argument and basically say a lot of the draft capital gap has been wiped out by this situation with Judkins. But this is starting to be a pretty big discount where the opportunity cost kind of ceases to exist. But with a guy like Tyjae Spears, I'm getting a talent I like. I am getting the same contingent upside. I'm getting a better offense. I think that's why it's hard to still be, bullish on Judkins. Even when things break his way, you're still dealing with the Browns offense, with other running backs. So this seems about the right price to me. Ramondre 124, Ray Davis 125. Yeah, put Quinshon Judkins in this round 11 mix. If you're debating between Javonte Williams and Quinshon Judkins, that sounds about right to me. I think I got my second Jerome Ford share, or I had 3 or 4 last year, and one of them was on the Deposit Kingdom video I did with Liam. So yes, I am very excited to get Jerome Ford on my team with Liam here. So yeah, I was debating Jordan Love at that last pick, and he goes. So I think what I'll probably do here, just because I don't want to get shut out at quarterback, I'm going to take Tua just a little bit ahead of ADP. I did say I would consider Najee at 142, but I think getting the quarterback here for this team is more important, and then we can see what we have here when it comes back around. Yeah, Randazzler's looking forward to the Badge Bros Brawl contest. Lots of different strategies, for sure. The ultimate scroll down contest. In a fun way to scroll down, right? Where you can scroll down and still draft really good players. Bryce Young goes, I guess the question here is, do I lock up Stafford as my third quarterback? I don't see anything I have to have. I mean, Likely and Ferguson are nice. Ferguson is nice, but this kind of seems like one of those spots. Or we could go Cam Ward. I don't think either of them are coming back. Let's see if I got that in time. Yeah, at the very last second, I swapped Cam Ward in for Matthew Stafford. I feel like I already drafted Matthew Stafford when I take Tua. So at the last second, I had a little change of heart there of let's swing for the fences. And these are the spots I'm trying to get better at this year where it's like, I have a hard time overpaying for a quarterback, even if it's just like a round ahead of ADP. That's just a mental hang up for me. I really don't think the ADP actually matters in this range. So just forcing myself, hey, grab Tua 7 picks ahead of ADP to stack up with Waddle. Grab Cam Ward, 10 picks ahead of ADP with Tyjae Spears, and then also opens up some really nice back stack options. So we now have a 3-4-5-1. We got our 3 quarterbacks, JJ McCarthy, Tua, and Cam Ward. I'm never going to be one of those streamers that tries to say Tua's full name. I just realized that that's just like never going to be who I am. I've noticed some of my peers starting to say Tetaroya McMillan. I think I saw a clip or something. He doesn't like it when people call him Tet. So I've noticed some of my fellow peers pronouncing that. I'm just never going to say Tua's last name. I think it's just for the rest of my life, it's going to be Tua. So glad we could clear that up this morning. Anyways, JJ McCarthy, Tua, and Cam Ward. The running backs, Bucky Irving, James Cook, Travis Etienne, and Tajay Spears. Still just have those 5 early wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, and Jaden Reed. And then TJ Hawkinson at tight end. All right, thank you. He prefers TMac. Okay, I will make sure to call him TMac. I kind of get that. Tet does feel, I don't know, like a little childish, like a pet, like he's like a pet lizard. I could see someone having a lizard named Tet. But TMac, a little homage to Tracy McGrady. All right, I will make that shift. I will make that shift. Going forward, I will not call him Tet McMillan. And if I do, I will put a dollar in the swear jar. That would be a good bit if all the best ball streamers came up with a certain amount of words and phrases and we had a collective swear jar and you guys helped hold us accountable. And then at the end of the year, we all donated that money to charity. Let's do that. Someone help me plan that logistically. If I ever say the nickname that's not T-Mac, that's a dollar in the swear jar, the best ball swear jar. I need more coffee. All right. We are about to pick here. Tank Bigsby is kind of interesting, even on a Travis Etienne team. Those cheap pairings, I don't mind. I'm just making sure if I should consider tight end. Feeling okay at wide receiver still. I don't like the Bigsby and Etienne pairings. I like the Bigsby Tuten pairings more. Let's do Hunter Henry. Let's grab another tight end here. I'm going to take Hunter Henry, so I'm not tempted to take Darren Waller. I like taking Chig on Cam Ward teams. I think we grab a wide receiver here. I take Pat Bryant so much. Probably need to chill out on that. Adam Thielen is here. Trying to see what other correlations I have with these wide receivers. Jalen McMillan at these prices, I think, is fine. And we also have Bucky. We missed out on Igbuka. I think Wan'Dale Robinson also has some correlation here opposite Minnesota in week 16. He's not a bad wide receiver 6 here. I think it's either McMillan or Robinson. Robinson goes. Let's take Jalen McMillan here. Jalen McMillan at 171. That'll get the job done. Someone's screaming at me to take Dylan Sampson. Hey, Playoff Rondo, let's get in the game, buddy. He went 3.5 rounds ago. Pick 137, Dylan Sampson. Pick 137. I would have had to have taken Dylan Sampson ahead of Tajay Spears. I think you could argue he should be going in that range. I think this is a solid price for Dylan Sampson at 137, but I never had a chance to take him in this draft. My HUD, my real-time assistance tool, the robots telling me what to do. This is the Draft Caddy. Right now I have in here the week 15, 16, 17 matchups. It also shows you one thing I like about the Draft Caddy is just the simplicity of it. Where I'm not getting suggestions, but it tells me the correlations, the bye weeks, and the teammates. And it's just a quick way. And I get to feel like I'm playing Battleship. Sam Darnold, C1, B2, 1 correlation, 2 bye week overlaps. So yes, this is the Draft Caddy. You can get it at thedraftcaddy.com via the in-game syndicate. But if you're looking for a cheaper option, just an overlay tool to help things get sorted, it also has this combo ownership up here. So it shows me Who are the players I take the most with Jefferson? Well, it was the players I took in this draft, JJ McCarthy and Bucky Irving. Makes sense, right? McCarthy as the quarterback stack, Bucky as the ADP correlated pick in round 2. That's something I should probably be aware of a little bit more. But yeah, that's the draft caddy. We got 3 more picks left. We have a 3-4-6-2 here. Definitely makes sense to get some wide receivers. I do think I'm going to go 3 tight ends here just because I like Chig a lot. I think TJ and Hunter Henry would be fine as a 2 quarterback room, but let's get our 3rd tight end there. So now we have McCarthy, Tua, Cam Ward, and we have Hawkinson, Henry, Chigakonkwo, and we're going to draft another 3-5-7-3-ass team. Rashee didn't fall that much, Joey. He went at pick, 30? Where did he go? 39. Went at pick 39 in this room, so not a huge discount. All right, let's see here. We got a 3-4-6-3. So yeah, probably 1 more running back, 1 more wide receiver. What wide receiver do we want to take? Probably something here. A little upside. I think we need a little rookie upside here. Did someone suggest that in the chat? Little Io Minor. Is that what we want? Rookie Titans wide receiver season. I think that's the call. I do think that's the call here. I've already drafted enough of the veterans. Jefferson, Adams, Waddle, Judy, Jaden Reed, Jalen McMillan. Yeah, let's add Alec Io Minor. And then we'll maybe get like a rookie running back crack as well as our RB5. JGFC likes the 3-6-6-3 for sure. Yeah, if you tend to build that just a little bit more 0 RB-ish, then you can get to that 6 wide receiver. I like how this draft fell. Like getting the 5 early wide receivers, you still get the anchor running back with Bucky. You get still a little bit of tight end upside, even in a 3 tight end room with Hawkinson as kind of a value. Bucky, James Cook, ETN, Spears is a rock solid 4 that I can get a 5th on. And then we'll just have to grab a rookie running back here in the at the end, which shouldn't be hard because there are many of those. Jared Naylor. Ollie Gordon. Yeah, if we're thinking of correlated running backs, I still at this point am going to kind of break ties to the bets I feel a little stronger about than as far as like correlated ones. So I guess like, McCarthy, there's no Vikings running backs. You mentioned Ollie Gordon with Tua. There's no rookie running backs for the Titans, and I already have Tajay Spears. But there are some nice options in here. I will not say them, though, for fear that they will be taken away from me. This is a good question, Michael, and I've been thinking about it, and I don't have a good answer. He asked Team Kendre Miller or Devin Neal as a bring back to New Orleans, Tennessee. I was taking a lot of Devin Neal when the contest opened, and then I got spooked with Kendre Miller looking pretty good in some of those early OTA things, but I don't think it's a bad thought. I think my heart wants to do Kendre Miller. I think the better bet is always just kind of the rookie mystery box with Devin Neal. But I didn't love Devin Neal's like prospect profile when I was looking at him in the supermodel. Wasn't my favorite. Who I really want to take here, though, is Jarquez Hunter. Can I please? No! Just let me have Jarquez Hunter. It's all right. I've been trying to get a little more Taj Brooks, too. Let's do Taj Brooks. He was the one I've been trying to tilt some of my like Brashard Smith exposures away from. Taj Brooks looked pretty good in the rookie model there. And yes, I did join another draft. Tipped people off in the Discord here, so we will We'll juggle a team recap plus another draft that's going to start here in a second. So let's make this pick at 105. We're gonna be starting here with draft 73, but we'll give a proper recap to have some closure on this first draft. Yes, I could have taken Lan Larison. I did not see the Coach Speak Index post on Eli Mitchell. Enlighten me. Enlighten me. All right, let's go ahead and start Barkley. Actually, no. After talking to Evan Silva got me so fired up for Jahmyr Gibbs on ship chasing last week. I think he has Jahmyr Gibbs as his Stone Cold 101. I normally take Barkley there, but as a little homage and a reminder for you guys to go check out that show on ship chasing with Evan Silva, I am going to take Jahmyr Gibbs here. But let me recap this first team. Best Ball Mania team number 72, a 3-5-7-3. JJ McCarthy, Tua and Cam Ward at quarterback, Bucky Irving, James Cook, Travis Etienne, Tajay Spears, Taj Brooks at running back, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Reed, Jalen McMillan, Alec Iomenor at wide receiver, TJ Hawkinson, Hunter Henry, and Chig Okonkwo at tight end. So we get McCarthy double stacked with Jefferson and Hawkinson there. Not too bad. We get Tua stacked up with Jalen Waddle and a Bucky Irving and Jalen McMillan week 17 bring back. And then we have Cam Ward stacked up with Tajay Spears, Iomenor, and Chig Okonkwo. But yeah, those 3-5-7-3 builds are pretty comfy there. Let me get this second draft board up. I somewhat agree with this logic. Like, I know where you're coming from, and yet I completely disagree. Parker says if you're going to be in 4 slow drafts, you might as well do 400. No, because the thing is I know what will happen to me. I will miss picks. I will get auto drafted picks. I will end up with like Quinshon Judkins, even if I have rankings set, and it will just tilt me beyond belief. Like, nothing makes me more mad than having to go make like 8 more picks on a slow draft where I already auto drafted a pick I don't want to make. If I do crack, it's going to be a bunch of eliminator slow drafts, because that's the contest I would like to have some more time here. I said I would take Brock Bowers at any price, and we're certainly taking him here. We're taking Brock Bowers at pick 20. We're going to start Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Bowers. It's time to have some fun. Sometimes you draft these teams just to make the people go wild. Oh, Pete, you did another 3-5-7-3 build. Cheers. Round of applause. Sometimes you got to hop in a draft, and you just got to draft the fun players. Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Bowers. As Clay would say, a sexual start. A start that makes you feel things that you didn't know you were capable of feeling. It really is a mental health thing. I like my brain. I have so many things I'm working on, so many projects, so many shows, so many writing assignments, so many video ideas. All of these things, it's just like I don't need the crushing weight of falling asleep at night and being like, oh fuck, did I set my cue? I just can't do it. I can't do it. Some of you guys are built different. You guys are just built stronger than me. Maybe I'm not a best ball bro. Maybe I'm not at my core. Maybe I'm too weak for this. You guys are just built different. You want it more. Joey, that was me last summer, having to wake up at 4 a.m. to hammer out 30 picks. That's the other thing, right? At the start, if you just have like 10 slow drafts going on and you set your alarm or whatever, you're doing what? Like a couple picks at most. When you start having in the triple digit slow drafts, like I know some of you have, all of a sudden you need to carve out like 45 goddamn minutes to make these picks. All right, let's see what we want to do here. Should we buy the Dipperino on Josh Jacobs? He's the one I said all fun picks. Sorry, Josh Jacobs. Or we could do Devontae Adams again. Devontae Adams is a fun pick for me this year. All right. If this is going to be the all fun pick, I'm not taking Josh Jacobs, but I will get my wide receiver 1. It'll be a Devontae Adams kind of morning. Wow. The elite QBs are flying off the shelves in this draft. Lamar Jackson picked 25. Jaden Daniels picked 27. Josh Allen picked 30. That's what happens to me where I'm like, Robot Pete was just like, let me just click the Josh Jacobs dip. But I had just done a 30-second soliloquy on how I was only going to draft fun players. And then I was about to immediately abandon it to scoop up 4 picks of Josh Jacobs' ADP value. How quick am I to abandon my morals? If you want to be built different, just get a barrel chest. I'm working on it. I did bench over the weekend. I was doing close grip bench press, but I'm not going to be able to compete with the soccer Daves of the world. They're just always going to have a bigger chest than me. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I know. See, this is why I can't even talk about this. 400 is light work, honestly. The other day, I did a call. So there's some guy at the Washington Post who's writing an article about fantasy football, and he wanted to interview me, and he was like asking me how many drafts I've done, and then he's like, that's a lot, right? And I was like, well, it all depends on what you're comparing it to. If you're comparing it to your college buddy who has 1 league, then yes, 200 and some drafts is a lot. If you ask some people in the Deposit Kingdom Discord how many drafts, they would laugh at my numbers. They would shame me for my minuscule size. It's all about perspective. You know what? This is a moment. Guys. Do you know who I'm going to draft? I am going to draft fucking TMac. This one goes out to Mrs. McMillan. I'm about to draft your son. You didn't name him. You named him Ted Arroyo, Mr. TMac himself. My wide receiver 2 on this team. The swear jar stays empty today. GM, Imwald. Office patina. Pro tip, upper back and lats will also increase your chest measurement. For sure. And also, drinking 19 Ghost Energy drinks a day, I'm told, will also help your barrel chest. This is how I know we need to come up for air. Packers fantasy playoff schedule is not ideal. Cold weather gauntlet. Aren't they used to it? They were born into it. I'm always more worried for the teams that play, like if it was Miami going to play in Green Bay, then I'm like, all right, they're not used to that shit. But Green Bay, they're ready for that. They're ready for that. All right, what are we going to do here at pick 5-5? We got Gibbs, we got Devontae Adams, we got Tet. I did it! God damn it! I did it! I just said I wasn't going to do it. And I said it. Put $1 in the swear jar. God damn it. It's harder than I thought. I said the T word. I was so proud of myself when I selected him. And then 30 seconds later, it slipped. Mrs. McMillan, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get better. I don't think I have my wallet down here. I've had this Simpsons fake Duff beer can for a long time, and I've just always put like change in it. I'm gonna get out 4 quarters here. Ooh, how about this? I got a 50-cent piece in here. What is this? Ooh, a Sacagawea. All right, 4 quarters. We got 4 quarters. We're starting the swear jar. We're going to use this Fantasy Life mug here. 4 quarters. This is the new ASMR on the show. Having to put my swear jar in. So here's 4 for not saying TMac. Ted Arroyo. There it is. The swear jar is underway. I'm going to keep out my change here. All right. So after paying my tax, we did select DK Metcalf there amid all of the swear jar controversy. So we got Jahmyr Gibbs up top, Devontae Adams. I almost did it. Ted Arroyo McMillan and DK Metcalf. And then we got Brock Bowers at tight end. Yeah, I had not said Sacagawea out loud in a long time. And as I said it, I'm like, is that a word we're allowed to say anymore? And if it isn't, I'm sure Trump is fighting for my right to be able to say Sacagawea. So I think I'm okay. Let me take Juwan Jennings. Please let me take Juwan Jennings at pick 6-7. Thank you very much. I mean, what are we doing with this, guys? Half the team is on the pup list. Juwan Jennings is not going anywhere, and yet he's getting cheaper. Juwan Jennings, come on down. Wide receiver 4. We're not... Hateful Huck wants to turn this into a randomizer draft. Queue up Taysom Hill. Must draft him with your next pick if you violate swear jar rule. I got to figure out what the next swear jar thing is. What is something I say too much that I shouldn't say? Or what is a mispronunciation? I'm sure there's something I do. It was last year people pointed out that every time I take a sip of coffee, I subconsciously go, I could put $1 in the swear jar every time I do that. I should kick that habit for sure. Is this feisty, Pete? I don't feel feisty, but I'll take it. I bet Kitchen calls me Sassy Pete on the Swolecast. Calls me Sassy Pete. Jahmyr Gibbs, Brock Bowers, Devontae Adams, Ted Arroyo McMillan, DK Metcalf, Juwan Jennings. I'm back on the clock here. Let's see. Look, I said, should we grab a running back here? Do we like what's going to come back? I said I've been splitting my Jaden Reed and Matthew Golden. Let's go ahead and do Matthew Golden here. I was debating grabbing a running back. Could have done Aaron Jones there, opposite Jahmyr Gibbs. Could have done Pollard. But I've been liking these teams with these 5 wide receivers here. So I think I'm just going to enjoy it in that these best ball breakfast rooms, normally I'm not allowed to get guys like Juwan Jennings at pick 68 and Matthew Golden at pick 77. So I'm just going to enjoy it while I have it. We do have lots of friends and family in here. We got Dosh, we got Champ, we got Jump Free, we got TM Longacre. I'm glad you got in this one, TM, considering you took today off from work. What do I say? I say, this is going to be where you guys all tell me all my nervous tics or whatever that I don't know about. I say Amon instead of Amon. Amon-Ra, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay. Putting your hand inside your shirt like a neck collar area. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if I like this. You guys pointing out all the things I do. This is a good one. Swear jar when I miss Pat's intro. I miss that almost every single time. And then all of you remind me to do Leone's. And then I generally don't miss that. Khalil Shakir. My wife used to always roast me because I used to say like wolves, like timber wolves. Like I would drop the L. She's like, you're saying wolves. And I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. Pay yourself $1 every time you value hound. That's one way to get out of the hole. I did see this tweet. I'm so glad this comment hits for me. I saw this tweet this morning. Aren't you worried that Jennings might be bad if you took out all his high-scoring games out of the equation? Someone was like, if you take out his one game where he scored 3 touchdowns, he was actually like wide receiver 44 or something. It's like, no fucking shit. We are literally drafting these guys for the hope. We would all be on our knees in celebration if any player we selected had a 3-touchdown game. It's literally the entire point. It is quite literally all that matters. Every single pick, we're just like, could this guy theoretically score 3 touchdowns and have 50 fantasy points in one game? It's what you think about every single time you click a player. Jesus. All right, what are we going to do here? I do think this is a wide receiver pick. Should we do Jordan Mason here? Jordan Mason seems fine at pick 92. All right, you guys can stuff with this. Dubs instead of Dobbs. Romeo Dubs. So there's an actual reason for that one. I know it's Dobbs, but it's because of the Ben Gretsch ship chasing song where he said, throw your dubs up, throw your dubs up. So we always say Romeo Dubs. So that one actually has a point. This is just a bad take by Joey. Jennings is fancy Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis would give his right nutsack to be able to earn targets at a similar clip as Jawan Jennings. Jeffrey, we already talked about pros versus Joes earlier. I posted my team on Twitter, and I believe FFPC did a stream as well last night, if you want to check it out. All right, should we grab Brock Purdy stacked up with Jawan here? It's generally what I do in this range. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to do. I think it's Brock. Let's get that first quarterback. So we have Brock Purdy. We have Jahmyr Gibbs and Jordan Mason. We have Devontae Adams, Ted Arroyo McMillan, DK Metcalf, Jawan Jennings, Matthew Golden, and then Brock Bowers at tight end. Jordan says, what team has the worst vibes for fantasy overall right now? I mean, it has to be the Browns. It has to be the Browns. Their highest drafted player, I guess Judy was going, slightly ahead of him? But their second highest drafted player is just free falling. It's like the organizational's 19th issue that they've had. They don't have a starting quarterback. There's literally 4 quarterbacks in the mix. David Njoku's really good, and he still falls to pick 130 because no one wants to touch it. I mean, it has to be the Browns for the worst vibes. Even the Giants, who aren't necessarily a picture of optimism themselves, it's like we take Malik Neighbors in the first round. We're begrudgingly taking Jerry Jeudy in the 6th. Jerry Jeudy, by pure projections alone, projects as a 4th round player. And we're all just nah, good players on good teams, bro. I ain't touching it. I don't think there's a team that even comes close to the Browns as far as the combination of ambiguity, poor sentiment, bad vibes. It's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. Pittsburgh close second. I think so. Yeah. I mean, the vibes around Rodgers are always bad. But even then, people, DK Metcalf goes a round and a half higher than Jerry Jeudy. Caleb Johnson and Jalen Warren are both going ahead of the Browns' first running back now. But yeah, I think it's the Browns and then a big tier gap down to the next grouping. Worst vibes for a team the public has good vibes. It's probably the 49ers, like FK Cooler says, right? Half their team is hurt or suspended. People are kind of spooked about Christian McCaffrey. Jared Goff falling all the way here, or we could sit on seeing if Jordan Love comes back. We could use a running back, but I do not like this range for running backs. Let's go ahead and grab Goff. I don't mind the Goff-Gibbs pairing. I know there's not a lot else to do correlation-wise with the Lions, which makes it not fun. But we can go ahead and take Jared Goff at pick 116. And again, it then allows me to take a third quarterback out of value, but not necessarily press it. That's a tricky spot for me because like my gut just wants to take Jordan Love there with Matthew Golden. And I probably should have. I don't know. What do you guys think? Goff with Gibbs there at 116 or reach to grab Love and kind of working on the assumption that neither would come back. Like I assume this Tucker Craft drafter, takes Jordan Love. And I assume someone behind me would have also have taken Goff. So it's like you just pick which one you want because neither of them are both coming back. So we have 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 5 wide receivers, and 1 tight end. Bateman is the ADP faller here. Let's do it. I like Bateman. I don't get him a ton, but falling a full round past ADP and as our wide receiver 6 bring back on the Matthew Golden stuff seems solid. We're going to have to dig out at tight end or at running back here. We still only have Gibbs and Mason, which isn't great through 11 rounds. My guy Tajay went 2 picks before. Now I'm all self-conscious. Where can I put my hands? I can't put them here. I can't say I can't say TET. I can do nothing. I feel like I'm in a straitjacket. Yeah, I don't love this move. Michael says I would have taken Kraft, then hope one of them comes back. I do see what you're saying, but here's the issue with that in this specific room. The Kraft drafter also had Jayden Reed. So that block move, I think only works if there are not a lot of teammates ahead of him, right? Or basically none. You basically have to have like squatters' rights on that to really pull that off. Yeah, and that's why like making those moves that are like entirely dependent on getting the quarterback, those don't feel good to me. I'd rather just get the quarterback who's already stacked up and then hey, if Tucker Kraft comes back, that's a nice bonus. I also like to keep tight end flexibility when I have Bowers. I know he's holding it down, so I can really pick my spots with a good value. I'm actually feeling good about pushing running back here. Here's another Dylan Sampson watch. Dylan Sampson goes 129 in this draft in the 11th round. Ramondre goes Javonte, but other than that, only 3 running backs since I took Bateman, and now I'm going to be able to get my guy Tuten. See, this is how you play it. You take Travis Etienne in the first draft. You say, hey, I'm going to spread out my bets, and then you're going to give me my guy, Bhayshul Tuten, at pick 140. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Nick says, what are your thoughts on Addison and Rice in the eliminator now? Addison week 6 bye. 2 is brutal for early season eliminator. Did we get concrete stuff on the Addison thing? I think the Rice thing feels like way more of an eliminator death knell than a 3-game suspension for Addison. But I hear you with the week 6 bye. But yeah, I mean, I think Rashee Rice, yeah, you're more talking like you're almost getting to the point where you're thinking about him similar to Ayuk in the eliminator, right? Where you want to have a pretty loaded wide receiver room, and then you're just kind of hoping for him to be the late season hammer, or you're treating him like a Luther Burden, like a rookie who supercharges your team later in the season. All right. We're about to pick at 13-5. I think we're still in the market for running backs here. Man, this guy is just gobbling them up. 6th running backs there. Okay, we're going to do Benson. I thought I was going to end up with Eckler or Algier, but we'll keep just scooping this up. I mean, the one thing that's not ideal, the bye week bros are not going to like this week 8 bye week situation we've got going on at running back, but like I'm just taking Trey Benson at pick 149. So here it is, bye week bros. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jordan Mason, Bhayshul Tuten, and Trey Benson. 3 week 8 buys there. A little worried about your running backs in week 8, Pete. A little worried. A little worried. All right. Here we go. We're going to be wrapping up this draft, but in the meantime, actually, we'll let him fix his mic behind the scenes. You guys can't see it, but he's fixing his mic. Once he's all settled. Okay, he's got his shirt off right now. He's changing his shirt. I'm going to let him. Now he's naked. Okay, I can't bring him on screen right now. Once he's completely ready. Okay, I think he's good. Scuba Kerrane, Patty Millions, Peacock Pat Kerrane on the 1s and 2s.
Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
98 yards to the fucking house against Carolina in week 10.
What's up, man?
So, I'm doing good. We the chat had been reminding me that I always forget to play your intro music, so I was not going to forget it. And I've established a new thing, and it is a best ball streamer swear jar. And it came up because I said that I was not going to say his nickname that he doesn't like when referring to Arroyo McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
And then I immediately accidentally said the nickname. And so now I put $1 in the swear jar. And I also promised if I forgot to play your intro to put $1 in the swear jar.
Can I swear?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You can swear.
Okay.
It's more like it's a spiritual swear jar for certain things that, crutches that I fall back onto, things I shouldn't say that I always do, stuff like that. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. As long as I can swear.
Yes.
So the nickname he doesn't like, TMac is the one he does like, right?
Yes, he likes TMac, but it's the one that's spelled TET that I'm not allowed to say anymore. That's the one that's no good. And again, same issue as last week. Now that we have the 20-second clocks, I find myself in this weird middle zone of too much time for one draft and just quite not enough time for 2 drafts. So apologies here. We're going to be finishing up a second draft here. Let's see, Pat. Would you ever do Tank Bigsy with Bhayshul Tuten?
Yeah. What's the room?
It's Gibbs, Mason.
Yeah,
Tuten,
I would do that.
Benson. Except the only reason I'm going to overrule it, Pat, is because I got it out at the last second. I have like 5 week 8 buys right now, including. So I have Gibbs, Mason, Tuten, and Benson in only one. And then at the last second, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do Bretton Strange. And I was like, nope, he's same buy as Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
So yeah. I went to Xavier Legette at the last second.
That works.
How are things going in your neck of the woods? I was like trying to catch up on 8 pieces of news with the chat earlier. I imagine your guys' ranking chat has been very busy lately.
It has been, yeah. But I mean, we've been adjusting the ranks. I had an article up about guys I'm taking on DraftKings over the weekends. And then the big news on the site side is that today is the last day for the Sidekick trial. So anyone wanting to test out the Sidekick for 5 days, head on over to legendaryupside.com. Sign up for the Sidekick tier. Comes with a 5-day trial. If you're a LegUp sub already, email me at legendaryupside@gmail.com. I'll set you up. Last day to sign up for it.
Beautiful. People have been threatening that I'm going to get my Jerome Ford shares with Liam later, so I won't take him here. Have you been drafting any Jerome Ford or mainly just focusing on Samson?
Samson. Yeah. I think Ford, he's probably underpriced for the value of some late season early season, spot start stuff. But I don't see like a big path to upside for him.
Yeah.
Judkins will be back and was like drafted to be the starter. And if Sampson gets run, like Sampson could be pretty good. So
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is the Sampson discount has evaporated quickly. So he went at pick 129 in this room.
Yeah.
So it is yeah, it's which I don't necessarily have
That
a
seems
problem
fine.
with it.
Right.
But it's just like, is he a target you're slamming there versus just like he's now in the mix there and you kind of play it when it comes.
It's kind of like when Tuten's gone, I think about
Yeah.
Sampson. But
Well,
that
in this
means,
case, I got
yeah,
Tuten 15 picks later.
that seems kind of bad to me. I mean, I
Yeah.
think, yeah, Tuten, I think, is still a much stronger pick than Sampson. Like Judkins could dust Sampson, even after all this stuff.
For sure.
And I don't think Bigsby or ETN is going to dust Tuten. Like it comes down to how good Tuten is, but I think Tuten is a stronger prospect than Sampson.
Yes. Yeah, he was one of the guys you wrote up. He's my most drafted running back. I took Travis Etienne in the first draft. Like I was saying, how I'm still mixing him in, but like a 40 pick gap now between those guys in a lot of instances, it's just so hard for me not to click Tuten.
I know, man.
Who were Burden was another one of your guys, right?
Yep. Burden, Fannin.
Yep.
Who was the last
How
one?
are you thinking about? How do you think about, say, like Fannin versus Arroyo now with Fant gone?
Yeah, I think Arroyo probably flips Fannin like a decent amount of time for me now. Part of it because I have Fannin, like I have a lot of Fannin. So, the thing with Fannin that's tough is like he's, I think, clearly the best bet as a talent compared to the second round tight ends. Like the guys who didn't go first round, I just think like Fannin by a mile. But Mason Taylor's going to have a starting job. Like he just is. Arroyo now looks to be, he'll have a starting job. I'm not like 100% confident that he will. It's like possible he splits with AJ Barner or something. But because he was drafted more as kind of this bit raw, but really kind of interesting route running prospect. Like his not really production, but kind of film based traits. Like this guy can really run routes. Which is exciting, but at the same time, like he does not have like a long history of playing the position at a high level. So I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if they were ultimately like, "Oh, this isn't as we're not feeling as good about this guy starting as a rookie as we thought." But I think he's kind of Mason Taylor light is the way I'm thinking about him in drafts. And so if you like need a tight end, I think he probably makes more sense. If you're like, I have tight ends, but they're boring as hell, then at that point I'd probably take Fannin.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. I mean, it's just nice to have another tight end on the menu because it was like Fant was just a problem enough to make none of them relevant. And now there's actually someone who you can justify taking there.
Right.
All right, let's see here. I'll do a quick recap of this team as we wind up, but Go AZ Cards wants to know, who is your favorite quarterback not named your favorite quarterback?
My favorite quarterback that's not Drake May. Well, I'm taking a lot of Trevor Lawrence. That would probably be my favorite best ball pick at quarterback that's not Drake May.
Okay. Yeah.
He's so cheap, compared to the other options. And I mean, I know it's like he might be like 20 picks cheaper than some of the other guys, but I can do stuff with those picks. Like it's in a range where I kind of want that. Like that's maybe Burden, that's maybe Tuten, So I'm going to pull up my exposure, but I have a lot of Lawrence.
Yeah. I mean, he went at pick 137 in this draft. It's just such a good price for him. While you're looking this up, I'll keep people updated as I land the plane on this team. Weird build cooking here. 3-6-7-1. I have Brock Purdy with Juwan Jennings, Goff with Gibbs, Aaron Rodgers stacked with Metcalf as my QB3. My running backs, Gibbs, Jordan Mason, Tuten, Benson, Shipley. I went ahead and tacked on Justice Hill on this one just because I have a lot of kind of contingent upside and rookie running back bets and the whole week 8 bye week issue. Wide receivers, fine. Adams, Tet, DK. Fuck. I did it again. I knew that was going to happen.
How much is it going in this swear jar?
Just $1, but it's the principle. It's the principle, Pat.
You just lost $1,000.
It's just I made this whole deal that I wasn't going to do it, and I keep doing it. Matthew Golden, Rashad Bateman, Xavier Legette, and Brock Bowers. Fucking A, man. And now I don't even have quarters. I have to dig. I just have these dimes.
Mark says you also owe for mentioning another site.
What site? What site?
I don't know the rules of this game. But if you say the site, you might have to put another $1.
What?
Check the private chat.
Mark, send it again in the private chat. I had to refresh my browser and I lost it. Here it is. Do you know what the only upside, Pat? People love the ASMR of the 4 quarters going in the swear jar.
All right. I feel like you got to go one at a time there, man.
I'm so pissed I'm not even doing
it. It's ASMR. You can't just bang 4 quarters in there at once.
All right, we're doing a huge Carolina stack without Bryce Young on this one. All right, let's just get this other team. Pat, we're about to pick. I on the stealth put us in a draft. We're on the clock at 1-9. I'm going to get this up right now.
Oh, wow.
We got the sidekick going, but our guy Puka is here. Puka. Nico at 1-9. Should we go Puka?
All day.
All right. We'll put Puka in the queue. I don't even want to recap that team again because I might accidentally say TET instead of Ted Arroyo or TMac. I just got to say TMac, Pat. I just have to say TMac.
Yeah, TMac.
I heard you on a podcast say his full name the other day, I want to say. You said you just dropped the Ted Arroyo out of nowhere.
Yeah, Ted Arroyo.
Incredible.
I recommend speed.
Nice.
I recommend speed.
The drug?
Because, yeah. It's great.
It's like, that's your secret to pronouncing all of these names is speed?
Just take some speed. No, I recommend using speed when pronouncing his name because it, that still sounds like I'm doing speed. I recommend saying his name fast.
That's what I used to do with Albert Akuibunum. It would just like say Akuibunum, just like do it so fast that no one can actually. Okay.
Okay.
Hang on.
We're on.
We're on the clock here. Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Ladd, or Brock?
Brock.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that dance for Henry.
Okay. What were you going to say, though?
Alberto was a tough one because I'm still not sure if it was Okwuegbunam or like Okwuegbunam or Akuibunam. Like I still like it's one like I'm pretty decent, I think, at the names. Once I hear someone pronounce it, I can usually like remember. I can just basically like mimic that. I can hear the voice. You can hear them, and I'm just like saying it back to try to match what's in my head now. I can't get that one. And I thought I had it, and then Gretsch was like, "Oh no, it's Okwuegbunam," and like it is. And then I like went back and I was like, "It does kind of sound like me." Yeah, Gretsch is right. And then I don't know. That one I've never been able to get it. So he's always Alberto to me.
Yeah, I used to, when I was doing Sirius XM, Kendall would always correct me on it because Kendall, before she joined Fantasy Life, and previously she had done radio in Denver when he had gotten drafted. So she had to nail that pronunciation.
How did she say
Denver? It was like a mixture. Yeah, because I used to say Akuibunam, and I think it was Okwuegbunam or something like that.
Okwuegbunam. Yeah, I think that's what, I think it's not Okwueg, it's Okweg. Yeah.
Do you know that he it came up on the randomizer?
In my head. As I was saying that, I was like, that sounds like I'm saying voices in my head.
It came up on the randomizer the other day. Do you know what team Alberto is on these days?
For the bit, I'm going to say the Chiefs.
It's not bad. It's another good tight end bit team though. It's the Colts.
Oh, that is a
Yeah,
great bit team. Kind of the
yeah,
bit team.
where tight ends go to thrive in committees. All right, I think I finally got my bearings here. We've started Puka in Brock Bowers. We got the leg up ranks going. We got the sidekick going. We're ready. We're ready to rock here. Okay.
Jake says I'm going to get myself in trouble mindlessly clicking Bowers in the mid-second of every draft. I'm hoping that trouble is winning BBM again. That's the trouble I'm counting on.
How nice it must be to say again at the end of that sentence. Garrett Wilson falls to 3-9 here. JSN, McLaurin, Worthy.
Yeah, Wilson's great.
Yeah. Yep. I'd like passed on Wilson in my first draft, just kind of mix it up because I'm always taking him in the early third, and I took Devontae instead of him. But when he falls to 3-9 here, no complaints.
And McLaurin's falling. I'm in a bunch of puppy 2 slows right now, and like you can get McLaurin sometimes in the 4th. I've just been scooping him a lot at the end of the 3rd and trying to pair him with Daniels a decent amount. I'm not real worried about the contract situation, but it is like I think affecting his ADP at least a bit. Yeah, he's pretty regularly like right here at the 3-4 turn.
Yep. Yeah, that it is an interesting. I don't know if it was in the ship chasing Discord or people were saying how they like just taking Jaydon first because it's more likely Terry actually is the one who will fall kind of back around than if you do Terry first and then hope Jaydon comes back around to you.
I tended to go Terry, and then if Jaydon doesn't come back, I just take like one of the many other players I like in the 4th round.
Yeah,
and I don't sweat not having Daniels there. But if you take Daniels, then I feel like you're kind of disappointed when Terry doesn't come back.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's starting to feel more like August around here. This is the back-to-back draft. I've seen Josh Allen go here early in the 3rd round.
Yep.
Man, I'm very much on board with Worthy here, or unless you want to do like elite QB.
No, I'm good with Worthy.
Thank God it's him and not TMac sitting there. Could have been. The fact that we can let TMac go on this team is so good for my recapping because I was going to hemorrhage coins if not. Yes, Zach says he's making a who stops this offense graphic, but it's all the Colts and all 11 spots are tight ends.
What do you think about we draft a fantasy team?
I know where you're going with this.
Just a fantasy team, not a full defense and offensive 11, but just a fantasy team, starting lineup, but you're only allowed to take players who've played tight end for the Colts.
Like all time?
All time.
Okay. Yeah, just
all Colts tight ends are eligible.
Who was the guy that was like with Peyton Manning for all those glory years? What was the white guy's name?
Just blanked on it. It's a D. What is it?
Yeah, he was like a Jason Witten ass dude.
Yeah, he's way too good
Dallas
for
Clark.
To remember his name.
Yes.
Dallas Clark.
There
Clark.
it is.
Thank you.
Yes. I thought what you were gonna say was like a mashing up the fantasy draft we did on ship chasing with the coaches, but it's like you can only pick the tight ends from one team, but then you can like kind of clone them out, but they have to play all 22 positions. Like which tight end group would you take? And I feel like the Colts would be a good one because they're so like diverse. You get Mo Alley Cox, the basketball guy.
Mo Alley Cox is tackle. He's already a tackle.
Yeah. You get Tyler Warren who can play some quarterback already.
That's a good Tyler Warren would be a pretty high pick just to play quarterback.
So it might not translate to our fantasy, but in a fake fantasy game where you need to fill 22 positions, the Colts tight end room is where it's at.
Pretty good.
All right, let's see here. So our team so far, we got Puka, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy up top, Brock Bowers here. Pretty classic start for us. And then we'll be picking at the back end of the 5th round at 5-9. By ranks, we got Travis Hunter, Jameson. Wow, I have not seen Jameson slide this far. He's now slid past your guys' ranks for him. Did something happen to JMO? Okay, there he goes.
No, there he goes.
Yeah. Were we making content when Kobe Fleener was a 7th round pick? I'm pretty sure we were. Chuba, Travis Hunter, Joe Mixon. What do you like?
Chuba and Mixon makes sense. We need a running back. Hunter is very fun. I'd also be down to do that.
I haven't built like a lot of classic 0 RB teams.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes today. We'll take
Let's do
Hunter.
it. Are you with Chuba? Are you worried they're going to pass more now?
You mean like I fucking know what you're doing because they added Ted Arroyo? I almost fell for it. You almost ate a seat that. I was like, what? Just because they added. You've almost baited me. I'm not going to fall for it.
I almost had him.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's going to be a long summer. I need like a shock collar. At first, I was like, that's such a weird thing for you to say about Chuba. I was like, what? What, bro?
What I was banging on the confusion to help get you to the.
All right. Trevion, Jawan Jennings, James Conner, David Montgomery.
Trevion's awesome here.
I love Trevion.
Yeah, me too, man.
I took him in my my pros versus Joes last night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of surprised. You know what's interesting about the Trevion is like so many, I think, ADPs on the Patriots are like propped up by May. You know, mainly Kyle Williams, I guess.
Yeah.
For Henry's fine. But it's like Trevion's not getting boosted. Like he seems like priced as if he's on the Browns, essentially, and not an offense that you're potentially excited about a year 2 leap.
Yeah, it's a good point because I think it's because he's with Ramondre, and so you have to like, you know, bet on him taking over the backfield, and then it's like, is that even their plan? Are they kind of viewing him more as like a James White? And so, you know, it just like it's not like the warm fuzzy pick for a lot of people. I find it pretty warm and fuzzy because I think he's a really good prospect. I don't think he's going to be like an every down banger or anything, but he's very explosive and versatile. So as kind of a 1A, I think I'd compare him more to like DeAndre Swift, but good, you know? So you don't need him to have like all of it. And then, yeah, if the offense takes a step forward, which it almost has to, he's a really strong pick in the 6th.
Yeah. Yep. And I think, and the way it's just like the smash of all smashes too, is like if he gets that early season standalone value where he is out there a ton in pass protect and you get a few kind of big plays and then you get the natural takeover that people are expecting.
Right.
That's the thing with all these things. And the inverse is true too with some of these veterans, right? Like I don't love clicking Christian Kirk, but could Christian Kirk start good and stay good the whole season? Like absolutely.
Sure.
Like that, that stuff can work in both directions. So we got Henderson as our RB1. We got Puka, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, and Travis Hunter at wide receiver. Brock at tight end. Looks like we're going to be picking here at 7-9 by ADP. Jacoby Myers goes. So it's Shakir, Tony Pollard, Mahomes with Hunter. Pollard seems fine.
I think Pollard is a pretty strong pick here.
Yeah.
It's not the funnest click, but like we want to see a running back and we get a starting running back on another team that could take a step forward this year. So it's pretty good, you know? You can't replace the running backs on this team. It's nice to get a guy who's like straight up starting week 1.
Also, new swear jar rule. If I ever say Christian Kirk and not Slot Demon, that is going to involve $1 played to the swear jar. It's no more C Kirk. He is now officially the Slot Demon.
So you can only say Slot Demon?
Yes.
I don't know. You guys think Slot Demon's a good pick?
I might just have to go broke with that one.
Is this
I don't
all
know
summer?
I think so, because now that I've established it, the chat is never going to let me forget.
Right.
So it might be.
Is this
Yes.
only on this show, or is it
I
all your
hope so.
shows? Is it all your channels?
Do you want Josh Downs or Ibuka here at 87?
I'm pretty Downs pilled, but I wouldn't be against Ibuka if you want to go that way.
No, I like Downs. We also get the week 17 Downs in Hunter, so let's do it.
I
Yeah,
think Downs is like already so good. You know, he's the best receiver on his team. Quarterback situation obviously is a concern, but
Downs also, I mean, normally I feel like Downs is kind of going out of premium. He slid 5 picks past ADP here to pick 88, which is nice because Mooney and Michael Pittman went ahead of him, which doesn't always happen.
Pittman going ahead of Downs is strange, but I mean, he'll run more routes if you like routes.
Yeah. What do you think? I saw a take recently, and I apologies, I don't remember who said it, and I know we need to be very careful about citing sources these days. Someone said, do you think we're getting too overconfident with assuming that Daniel Jones is going to be the starter for the majority of the season now that like the A-Rich shoulder stuff doesn't seem like as much of an issue, and yet the prices for the Colts pass catchers really haven't moved in relation to that news?
I think that Downs in particular was really undervalued before we knew anything about the Colts situation, other than that they brought in Daniel Jones. I think Pittman was really undervalued. Now he's gone up. Used to be able to get Pittman in like the hundreds. But I think kind of the starting baseline was that we were just too nervous about the situation, that there would be, good enough quarterback play, most likely that these guys would be able to pay off these ADPs, because like Pittman can play and Downs looks really good. So, Downs moving into the 7th feels right because it looks like Daniel Jones is more likely to play a big chunk of the season. I was kind of of the opinion that Richardson, they were going to like kind of give it everything they could with Richardson to see if maybe he could kind of bail them out of this looking like a totally wasted number 4 overall pick. I mean, that would be kind of your natural lean. That doesn't seem to be the case. So even now, like with the Richardson shoulder thing, maybe not being as bad as it could have been, it still looks like Jones is the favorite for week 1. And, Richardson has struggled so badly that I still think if you give Jones the job, he probably will play a big chunk of the season. Because even if he gets benched, he might come back. With right. Richardson could get himself benched again.
Let's see if Fields falls to us here, because this would be a smash. If he does, he does. Justin Fields at 105, stacked up with Garrett Wilson. Any complaints there? All right, let's do it. What do you? I did upload the ranks here. It looks like the 99 is that your guys' updated price on Judkins?
Yeah.
And he's been falling well past that in drafts. Like if you're drafting off those ranks, you'll get him in almost every draft, at least the 2 I did this morning.
Yeah, I'm not getting him like all the time, but yeah, I mean, I am willing to take him there. There's you're to a tier of running back here where it's like, okay, what am I getting in the first, with any upside, what am I getting in the first 6 weeks anyway? Or what, or like, I'm not getting any upside. So yeah, I mean, it's not true of everybody. There are guys, later that do have it, like Tuten goes after him still. But most of the running backs in this range, I feel like I'm willing to take the chance at that point.
All right, well, let's see here, because this might be your price. Because he's here at 113. You want to take a flyer on him as our RB3?
Yeah, or Drake May.
I haven't drafted Drake May in a while, and let's. I'd rather. I think this price on Judkins, just from what I've seen, is going to continue. To drop, and so I'd rather just wait till it settles a little more.
I'm down with that.
Also, Pat, Albie just topped you with trying to bait me. This is so good. Pete, do you know the name of the series of surprise attacks the Viet Cong launched against South Vietnam during the Vietnamese New Year in 1968? The TMac offensive. Who could forget? God damn it. You almost got me. I just thought it was just, a casual piece of trivia here on a
wow.
best ball show. There you go, Pat. We took Drake May. Here's the team. We got Fields and Drake May, Konami code. We got Trevion Henderson and Tony Pollard. We got Puka, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Travis Hunter, Josh Downs, and Brock Bowers here at tight end. What the people were like excited about Diggs this morning that he wasn't opening up on PUP. I guess I didn't know that was an expectation. Was that a thing? Were people expecting him to be placed on PUP?
I mean, I don't know, because PUP is like it's the training camp PUP, so it doesn't mean it's not like he's starting the season on PUP. It's just like, is he ready to go day one at training camp? I guess I don't know that people were at this point, but it's good. I mean, it is good. I think it's like one of those things where you kind of already know the information, but it's like a moment to like reflect of like, wow, this dude he's going to be there day one of training camp. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, he's been out there like every day for the last 2 months. Like that's not a surprise, but it is a surprise going back to the original, this dude tore his ACL. Will he be ready for day one of training camp? So
yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Yep. Yeah, and where did he go here? He went 73. It sounds like it's just one of those classic things where whether it was baked in or not, it almost doesn't matter because the market is going to react to that update regardless.
Yeah.
And so now Diggs is going to go slightly higher because of that. In the same way, Pearsall and Ayuk are going to continue to drop, even though we knew Ayuk was going to end up on PUP, but just hearing it now means that we have to react to that. All right, we're about to pick at 11-9 here. We got the 2 quarterbacks, the 2 running backs, 5 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Sidekick likes Tuten, who I also, of course, love. I don't know if there's any other picks that are better than that.
There aren't.
Let's do it. You know what? I'm like generally like a pretty smoothed out exposure borrow. It does seem like Tuten is the guy that could eclipse like 30% for me this year at this rate, which for me is a big stand.
Yeah, because I don't see him as that different of a bet than Scatterboo.
No.
And you get such a big discount. Like you can, in this range with the quarterback window being right here, if I can take a guy at the end of it instead of the beginning of it, it's really nice. We wouldn't have taken Scatterboo over Justin Fields anyway. He goes before, 1 pick before, but like we take 2 quarterbacks, we push running back, and then you get Tuten. It just feels like such a gift to still get a guy who's got a ton of upside. Like he was explosive. He was a good pass catcher. He was an absolute workhorse at Virginia Tech. He's not like tiny. He's a little undersized, but kind of in the same vein as like a Bucky. And the backfield's there for the taking.
Yep. We are on the clock. Sampson is here if we want him. 136. We're certainly in the market for more running backs on this team.
Yeah, my rule is once Tuten's gone, and we took him. So I think
yes,
we take Sampson.
That rule could be problematic if you're someone who likes to reach on Tuten 40 picks ahead of ADP.
It can be problematic. You end up with a lot of Sampson. Tuten's gone. It's only round 3.
Tuten's gone. Who did it? We're all trying to find the guy who did it, but hey, got this rule. Tuten's gone. Also, I do want to point out multiple people also trying to get me in another way, trying to say, Pete, how do you say head in French? Head in French, I can only imagine that it is pronounced Tetaroya in French there. So keep them coming. Keep them funny guys. We already got $2 in the swear jar. So this kind of thought here. So John says the difference between Tuten and Scatterbo is that Tuten is competing with 2 question marks and Scatterbo is only competing with 1. I think that's true, but I think you could also offset that dynamic with, I think the overall offensive upside is so much greater.
That's
in
the
Jacksonville.
Thing.
Like the
difference between Tuten and Scatterbo is that one guy has Liam Cohen and an actual quarterback that we know can play.
Yeah.
And the other's got a rookie that might not be any good.
Chris, I just want you to know that, yes, the slot demon is very much on the radar for this team. We'll keep him penciled in. My favorite thing when people like reference like the cabal is caballing with this Tuten excitement is he's actually fallen in drafts. He keeps getting cheaper. So whatever cabal there is out there, the shadowy puppets behind the scenes, they are not dictating ADP on Bhayshul Tuten. They're going down with the ship. The market is marketing on this one, and they are winning.
The market is marketing for sure.
Yeah. All right, we're about to pick out 153. Sidekick likes us grabbing another wide receiver here. Get Demario Douglas stacked up with Drake May, as God foretold.
Yeah, we could. Would he come back or not? We could grab Stafford as a quarterback 3 and try to push.
We don't have time to look.
I'm down for Douglas though.
So the reason I would push is Adams is behind us. Like in that situation. Oh, and he snap goes. He snap goes to the Kyron team as a QB3. So there goes that. The other thing though, Pat, we have Brock Bowers. So I also think Geno as a QB3.
That's true. That's a good point.
Work. God damn it, Daniel. Do I any chance know the 9th letter of the Hebrew alphabet? You know what? I don't. So I'm sorry I can't help you out there. George, we just talked about Quinshon for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we just did it.
We did the whole thing. All right, here's the team. We got a 2-4-6-1. Fields, May, Trevion Henderson, Pollard, Tuten, Sampson, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Travis Hunter, Josh Downs, Demario Douglas, Brock Bowers here. What are you thinking as far as you get the Hunter Henry for the big onslaught or something else?
Hunter Henry. We get the tight end too. This is kind of the last guy I would say him and Ertz are kind of the last guy before tier break. Otten is kind of in his own tier a little bit in my mind. Stacked up with May. It's pretty nice.
I don't even know what these mean anymore. What do you call a born again captain of the USS Enterprise at Starfleet? Are these even things? Are you guys on ChatGPT right now? Googling what things have the same meaning as the Carolina Panthers canceled nickname? Zach thinks that you paid me off before stream to draft this one. Here's the thing. It's like I told people that I wasn't going to draft Jerome Ford because I knew Liam was going to make me. I know that I don't need to draft Drake May and my other BBM teams because I will get my exposure with Pat. And that's what portfolio management means in 2025 for sure.
That's what it means. 2025 if you stream with Pat.
That's right. So we got we're in good shape now, kind of positionally. The 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Got plenty of upside at the onesies with Fields and May, Bowers and Henry. The running back room, I think, is what we really kind of have to flesh out. We got the 3 rookies in Pollard. Wide receiver room's looking great. It's kind of figuring out how do we get this running back room to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think we need the room to help us out a little bit with running back depth now.
Yes.
But we have upside, right? With Tuten, with Sampson, we got Henderson, and then Pollard classic chaperone pick. We just need a little bit more of that energy because these rookies are really exciting. And the thing with Sampson that's fun is you get the late season upside, but the bet is that Judkins is suspended for a while. And so he's actually producing like pretty early in the season. At least as a 1B anyway. So
Sidekick likes Miles Sanders, who I do think is a good type of pick for this team. that's what we're looking for.
I think that's exactly the type of pick that makes sense here. I'm way more Miles Sanders than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
But he's still cheap. Like, he's someone who's risen a bit, but it's not like he's like, the opportunity cost when you're looking at Sanders is still so low. And if you need Sanders, there's not a lot of other guys like him in this range other than Ford, but Ford just went.
Someone in the ship chasing channel said, can we get all the Jaydon Blue, like FUD, going to the point where Sanders is the one going at pick 150 and Blue's going at 190, and then we can all get back to just drafting Jaydon Blue a bunch?
Yeah, I mean, Blue, the FUD machine is on.
Yes.
He's they're saying his work ethic is an issue now.
I was saying that there was talk, and someone like shared another thing where some of the other Dallas beats were kind of debunking that report and saying that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So there's that. We could do Geno here as that QB3 where we were patient and then get a really nice discount on that.
I get Giddens all the time too in the last round or their second to last round. So
yeah,
he's a good push candidate.
We still have 2 more picks after this. One's definitely a running back. And I think you could, with Puka, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Hunter, Josh Downs, and DeMario, you're not hurting that wide receiver.
No. How many do we have?
6. The 5
6.
through
yeah.
What, Downs through 88, and then we tacked on Douglas.
It's a fun build.
Yeah. The truth is with these things, and I know we had kind of, mentioned the like Kamani Vidal corollary and stuff with like these unheralded rookies really getting pushed up because of like backfield ambiguity or whatever. But I would rather have them moving in the direction that makes them cheaper. That's when you're taking out so much of the risk of what you need for them to be a hit. Where like the bet really hasn't changed. If it is just like, oh, we have work ethic concerns, or he caught one swing pass in like preseason or whatever. It's like, if nothing is meaningfully changing, like let them fall. Like then the risk is really taken away.
Yeah. And I think that some of these guys who have gone on to be huge hits weren't necessarily like having the buzziest of training camps. It was more like even with Kyron, right? Kyron ended, he wasn't a rookie, but kind of functionally, he ended best ball season as a 18th round pick or 17th round. But like I advanced the team. I got to the final with like a small field, or no, it was my BBM team that made the final that year. I took Sean Tucker in the 17th, and then I took Kyron in the 18th on that team. So and I drafted that like one of the last days of BBM. So it's like we're kind of counting on the training camp buzz to point us in the right direction in a number of spots, but often it is still just like, hey, this guy is a really good bet and it's a long season. Bucky was kind of like that too. Like Bucky wasn't taking the job in training camp. He took the job over the course of the season.
Sidekick likes the rookie. Oh, it just switched because Giddens went. Do you want to grab another running back here or grab like AD Mitchell, Tutu? I
do love AD Mitchell, man.
I feel like we haven't talked a ton about AD. Obviously makes sense on this team with Jags and Colts, but what's the selling point on AD right now?
Just that he was a high upside second round pick, really, really kind of talented, film-based guy. His statistical profile had some holes, but he looks like a very high upside player. And then he comes out, he earns targets at a really high rate, doesn't get on the field consistently, has some kind of off the field, like this dude needs to kind of get it together kind of stuff. But you're getting him completely for free. It's a second year upside bet or second year breakout bet. He just needs to pass Alec Pierce. And you get the same kind of optimism around, hey, maybe this offense is actually functional, can actually pass this year, but for none of the costs that Pittman and Downs come with.
We're on the clock. I mean, running back really got wiped out. I've been taking a little bit more Taj Brooks lately, or we could go with the suggestion with Tutu or Coker. What do you think?
I'd be Hunt if we go running back because that's where we need help.
Fuck. Sorry, I didn't get it in time. I was going to try to
Brooks
get
is fine. I just think Hunt, like
on this team.
on this team, Hunt actually makes some sense because he might help us chug along in the beginning of the year.
I will. I'll be honest. I've not clicked Kareem Hunt once, and I kind of pretend he doesn't exist. But he's essentially the Miles Sanders bet there on the Chiefs.
Yeah, he's like Nick Chubb, but cheaper.
And like we saw how this works.
Yeah.
We don't even know how Nick Chubb works. Like in this case, but the Kareem Hunt is. What was the people were saying there was something about Eli Mitchell recently? I think I missed it. Did you see anything about him?
I didn't see anything about Mitchell.
Let me look it up and see if I can
Mitchell might not make the team.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Last I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, so are you allowed to say AD or does it have to be Adonai? I heard Adonai doesn't like AD. It's too close to ED and his mom says she didn't name him AD. Okay, yes, going forward, if I accidentally say AD and not Adonai,
oh no,
25 cents in the swear jar.
So how are you going to remember all of these? I feel like you're getting now to a level.
I'm not. The chat will remind me. These people, their minds are like bear traps. You know, nothing's getting loose from this.
That's so good.
Don't feed into this. It's a slippery slope. When has the best ball community ever taken a tiny morsel and turned it into some gigantic ordeal? They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure they're very measured. They have really calm, cool reactions to everything that happens in the space. All right, here is, let's put a bow on this. Coach Beat quote compared Eli Mitchell to McKinnon in both role in their training staff working through history with him. But then people mentioned that the quote was like from April, probably when they just signed him in free agency is my guess. So a lot has changed since then, maybe. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's the final team, Pat. We kind of decided to head down a 0 RB-ish path. That's definitely what we did. Justin Fields, Drake May, and Geno Smith. Trevion Henderson, Tony Pollard, Tuten, Dylan Sampson, Miles Sanders, and Taj Brooks. Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Travis Hunter, Josh Downs, Demario Douglas, Adonai Mitchell, Brock Bowers, and Hunter Henry. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I think, Adonai Mitchell, he's kind of got the big possession receiver traits. It kind of reminds me of the dude the Panthers took.
Yeah. I'm blanking on his name right now. It's like starts with a T, McMillan. Yeah. He went to Arizona. I think he was named after an offensive during the Viet Cong. Anyways, go on.
That's what he was named after. No, I think it's a fun team. Like I like that we pushed it. We went 0 running back, back to our roots. But like we get Pollard, we get Henderson. So I'm feeling pretty good about a running back room. And then we have these upside swings in Tuten, Sampson, Sanders as a chaperone, Brooks for the big. I mean, Brooks does give you a lot of upside as a contingent bet. So yeah, I mean, it's a fun running back room. And then the receivers are really strong. We get 3 stacked quarterbacks, Fields and May, pushing each other in that week 17 shootout. The receiver room's really fun. And then Bowers. I mean, the thing with Bowers, because I do take a lot of Bowers, as the people know. I will admit that sometimes on a Bowers team, you're like, I don't feel that strong anywhere.
Yeah.
But this, I feel like we're pretty strong.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where we still were able to get upside at quarterback. The wide receiver room is loaded. And that's really what you want to do with 0 RB teams. You want to be loaded everywhere else and then let the chaos of the season take place. You need to get one league winning pick, one contingent thing break your way, and then your team can be supercharged. And also the way these teams work too is like, it doesn't all have to happen at once. Like these things can break later. You just want to survive early on and then have 1 or 2 of the big breakouts happen right as the playoffs are starting.
Totally. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Pollard, they're talking up like, oh yeah, last year that wasn't really the plan. We're gonna incorporate Spears more and stuff, and maybe they will. But also like maybe Pollard's just a lot better than Spears, especially as a runner, especially as like between the tackles. Like, hey, we want to keep the offense on track. Stay on schedule. Don't want the rookie playing behind the sticks. They might just feed Pollard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They did essentially the same thing. It is a really interesting backfield, and I love both of them at cost. And I think Pollard's an awesome pick, but like Spears almost feels like a free roll to me in that the contingent upside's there no matter what. Like at worst, he's Zach Charbonnet. And then at best, like the coaches aren't lying and they get him more involved in a standalone way. And he's like explosive. They've also seemed to like trust him at the goal line too. At least they did in those games that Pollard was out, which is like a huge thing. Cause I feel like coming into the league, they're like, oh, smaller back, passing down back. Maybe they would use a big bodied third guy, but like there's no third guy there. Like, so I still really like the Spears bet.
That is true. It's a very clean contingent bet. It's like he's like mini Charbonnet that way.
Mm-hmm. The where's Arroyo going? Did people even see, was he drafted in any of these? I mean, Gadsden went in the last round of this. I don't know if people are even getting, unless he went way early. Oh yeah, he went 185. Okay, so he went in round 16 here.
That's a little early to me.
Yeah.
Where did Mason Taylor go? Mason Taylor went like right. Oh no, after.
He went after him. Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense to me. I'd definitely rather have Mason Taylor.
That's kind of just paying the new news premium here. I can see where he went in my first draft this morning. Let's see. Arroyo, he went ahead of Mason. No, not in. So Mason Taylor went at 181. Taylor went in 185. But yeah, he's been going in the 16th round. Like, who would you rather have? Theo Johnson, Jatavian Sanders, or Arroyo? Like, how do you rank those three?
Probably Jatavian Sanders, Arroyo, and then Theo. Now I have to make sure that's actually how we have it ranked.
Arroyo, yeah, Arroyo over Theo would be kind of like the new move.
So we have Jatavian at 203. We have Arroyo at 208. And we have Theo at 210. Locked in.
It's like more of a relief. You're like, thank God I said is exactly how we have it in our ranking.
I was one of those things. I was like, I'd probably need to spend some time on this morning. That's not how we have it, but it is that way.
Yeah, and I think I still want to be pretty picky with the spots I'm taking Arroyo. Obviously with Darnold, I think if you did want to take him as the bring back on, like if you missed out on like Jatavian Sanderson with Bryce Young and you wanted to play that game, I don't know if he's like a big one-off guy for me where it's just like, I just want to be ripping it in on Arroyo right now.
I also think that, he's saying he had Darnold. Okay. Yeah. I get it. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, I also don't hate, like, how could you take Arroyo on the 16th? That's crazy. It's not crazy. If you're doing it stacked, it's fine. I just, I don't know. I'd probably be pushing him personally, but I could see it. I could just see just grabbing him.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, I think we're all so bored, with with some of these that, it's when there's a new thing to do, we're just like, thank God I've been staring at the same three names at the end of a draft. And you're like constantly wrestling with that. You're like, do I take an increased risk of a 0 because it feels more exciting to me? Or do I just continue to draft the same types of guy over and over? But I do think there's like a lesson in that of like, draft the better bets now, and we're going to get a lot of fun shit that we're going to be able to do in a smart, logical way, like here pretty soon. Like the draft board at the end is going to get infused with new picks for us.
Yeah, and there's been so many times in best ball teams where I like in best ball seasons where I go back, I'm like, man, best dude, good news on that guy. I've got a bag. And then you go and you're like, yeah, I've got a 11%. I'm like, what? Like, I thought I had like 30. And it's just because there was a period where I took a bunch and I felt like every draft, but I didn't do as many drafts in that period. Like in those early windows were like rarely drafting at like the same, at least me, like I'm not usually having like quite as much volume as I might later. And then, it's always tricky. Like, how hard do you want to press the advantage there? You know, it's sort of player dependent on if I'm going to mix it up or if I'm just going to go, no, I'm going to grab this dude for as long as this price lasts. And then if it lasts into August, then maybe I'll reconsider then. But for now, I'm just going to like make sure I actually load up. That's kind of where I ended up on Miles Sanders, ridiculously enough.
Yep.
But I think he almost has to move up. The preseason snaps, we're getting Nathan Yankee tweets that like 50-50 preseason splits. Like Sanders doesn't move up into the 12th or 13th. Like how does that not happen?
Yeah. No, it definitely will, especially if like, I mean,
Maybe
that's
13,
the
14.
thing. I think that's the risk with a lot of these like late running back flyers is they can move so quickly in either direction. Like you can get the Samson move, like boom,
Right.
like blinking of an eye from like 18th to 11th round, or you could just have someone banished to the shadow realm. Like even kind of like what happened to Devin Neal. Like we were all drafting Devin Neal after the draft in like the 16th round. Now it's like no one ever touches like Devin Neal. Like they can go off the radar just as quickly as they come on.
Totally. Yeah. And we're going to get a bunch of news that'll help us dial that in. And then those prices will change, which they should change. But yeah, it's always today and tomorrow are kind of like the last days of like the early window, right? Where like we don't have that much news. We still like today don't have that much news, but the news is going to start. You know, draft in the next hour if you want to draft in the early window.
Yeah, that's the last chance. The last chance. Someone did ask me, like, I haven't taken a Saints backup running back in a while. Have you taken stabs on either?
I haven't taken Neal in a while. I think he's like it's like somewhat on the radar, but yeah, I'm not taking these spots where the running back class was so deep that I really do kind of want some news. And the news doesn't have to be like this dude looks sick. The news is like he's the number 2. You know, he's ahead of Kendre Miller. That's the news I want on Devin Neal. And we got that on Taj Brooks, right? Like Brooks looks to be clearly ahead of Zach Moss. He might not be ahead of Perine, but Perine's kind of a different thing, more the third down back. So then the fact that he's ahead of Moss, like he's making the team. Rashard Smith, I'm hoping we get like he's definitely making the team, which we kind of already got, but I'd like the training camp version of that to like really, really hammer him. But that's the type of stuff I'm looking for on these rookie running backs that late because there's so many of them, and I think they're all pretty close as far as the quality of bet.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think this is going to be such a fun period because, I mean, we did a ship chasing episode a few weeks back. I think it was when Gretsch was on, and we were kind of going through all of those rookie running backs back there. And it's like, I think we could see like a full on like hockey line change where it's like 4 guys like Ollie Gordon, Jordan James, Devin Neal, these guys move up. And then we're like, oh shit, like we were drafting, you know, whoever it's like, are now moving back or whatever. And
Rashard Smith, like Rashard, he could be one of these guys who are like, oh, doesn't look good.
Yeah.
You know, he's a 7th round pick. What were we thinking? There's lots of like we could DJ Giddens, who I love because I think he's very, very likely to be the number 2. It could be like, oh, actually, it's not. It's Khalil Herbert or whatever. And you're like, oh, wish I didn't take so much Giddens. It definitely those types of things are going to happen. I'm hoping it's not specifically Smith and Giddens, who I've taken a ton of. But Gordon's a good, like, Gordon could move up a lot if it's like he's just, and we're not really touching that Jalen Wright that much. Like the ranks are fairly low on Jalen Wright because I don't know that he's the number 2 running. He wasn't good last year. And then they drafted Gordon in the 6th, which normally doesn't worry you too much, but he's the exact type of back who might take an early down role from Jalen Wright. And the 6th round isn't as bad as it normally is this year because there's so many running backs. And then Gordon is this particularly weird prospect himself where, you know, if he just sits out 2024, maybe he's a 3rd round pick. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see which of these running backs we get the green light on.
And the other one too, and I saw Dwayne was talking about it. I think because he was listening to Gretsch talk about Trevor Etienne a little bit. Like that's another one that like could be fragile. Like we could just all of a sudden flip Trevor Etienne and Rico Dowdle, like based on depending on
Sure.
how things are going. I mean, that one seems more unlikely, just the rookie and the veteran, but that kind of dynamic of like, hey, maybe the RB2 job is a little more up in the air than the ADP suggests.
No, for sure.
All right, Pat, let people
What
know
do you think about,
oh, go ahead.
just real quick, any of the rookie wide, like, I know you're taking a bunch of Jalen Noel, but are you a little bit worried about his role at all?
No, because I feel like at those prices, I don't even necessarily need him on the field right away. And I just
You
feel
don't
like
think, who do you think their starting wide receiver set's going to be?
well, I think if it's a 3 wide with Nico, Higgins, and Kirk, like he could certainly be the
Christian
odd
Kirk?
man out. God damn it. He got me. Should I explain? Well, let's bring Leone on here so I can explain this thing. There's a new swear jar bit going around. There's certain words I can't say, and I just vowed, Leone, to never say Christian Kirk again, and I was going to only call him the slot demon. And Pat just baited me into saying his government name.
I got him, Leone.
You did that. It was such a good, like, just hold on. Just one more question before I go. Was that planned from the get-go?
I just was racking my brain of like, because I was going through there's a lot of swear jar ones now. So I was like, which swear jar? I knew I couldn't get him on Tet. I knew he's locked in on TMac now, but I thought I may be able to get him on Slot Demon.
$1 every time now
with the whole list somewhere.
I will get a graphic made, I'm sure. Let me just put the 4 quarters in. People love to hear it.
Sound like Nicholas.
All right. I can't wait.
Great.
I'm going to have to go to like the grocery store and like cash in $100 bill for just quarters to just get through this. All right, Pat, tell the people about the Sidekick and then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Sidekick. Last day to sign up for a 5-day free trial. Head on over to legendaryupside.com/sidekick. If you're already a LegUp subscriber, email me at legendaryupside@gmail.com and I'll get you set up with the trial. And then, yeah, I got an article on DraftKings that DraftKings Best Ball that dropped last week. That's a free article. You can check that out on the site. Matt Irby will have an article this week. Michael Dubner has an article on the Week 17 All That Matters, the updated thinking on that. Going to have that up for you guys tomorrow. And so, yeah, lots of great content on legendaryupside.com.
All right. And this, because I wanted to bring Leone on stage, that does not count as me forgetting his intro, which I'm going to play now. We'll see you next time.
Bob has Lesney.
You're a psychopath.
Travis Kelce, alpha play. Jamar, alpha play chase.
Give me rookies or give me death.
All right. Michael Leone. Yeah, it came up because I was saying Ted Arroyo McMillan's nickname, and people pointed out he doesn't like being called that. His mom, they're okay with TMac. They don't like the abbreviated first name, though. And so I said I was going to create this swear jar where I would put in $1 every time I messed up. And then I immediately messed up like 2 times. And then people started trying to bait me into it. And then for some reason, I added a few other things to the list, including forgetting to play your guys' intros as another thing. So any money in this swear jar by the end of the summer is going to go to charity. And seems like a charity is going to get a nice little donation at this pace.
Yeah, I saw that on McMillan, and it's a tough decision between people who cannot pronounce any name that's not just Smith versus, trying to be respectful there. So, I appreciate the efforts.
It was one rookie, I think, was it last year? The chat will remember, where he was like, yeah, people always mispronounce my name wrong. And then I just like never corrected them because he was just like too embarrassed.
There wasn't a rookie, but Tyrod Taylor, I think it's like Tyrod, not Tyrod. And he said it after like years.
Yeah. So we'll work on it. This is my way. We all have things we have to work on in life. I need to become a better broadcaster. I got to be held to a higher standard. But what else is new with you, Leone?
I don't know, man. Not too much. I started 40 slows at a time. I know how much you and Pat love slow draft hell. So that's where I am right now. But I needed to start picking up my pace to get BBM filled.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, this is about to be actually, Mike. I think this is my halfway point here as we hop in a draft number 65. Let me verify this. I just did 74th with Pat. So you are doing my my halfway point draft with me.
Honored. Who was draft number 1? Was that Pat? Or no, that was a solo, probably, right?
That's a good question. Draft number 1. I'm guessing it was my first. No, you're right. It was with Pat. Oh, it was because they didn't launch it until like 11:30. So I basically vamped for a while. So yeah, Pat got to do the first one there. All right, Mike, I'm going to get us loaded here. We have the 105 in today's Best Ball Mania. I'm going to get the draft assistant up. We'll get some ranks in. I mean, I was talking with the chat and with Pat. I mean, there's been all kinds of like little news things that are moving players. I guess you could say the Judkins and the Rashee Rice stuff has been fairly meaningful, but then like lots of minor stuff as well. Are you guys working around the clock to update your rankings?
Oh yeah, basically getting stuff updated immediately. The little things, I guess, would be like Mike Williams retiring. That had like a very small impact. But the Judkins Sampson stuff, I know in my slows, it's tough to know like how far is Judkins going to drop, even with the ADP being, what is it, like rolling 48 hours.
Yeah.
I'm good with, I think I'd go CD or CMC here.
All right.
Let's do CD. Yeah.
I was going to say, is that this is what happens, right? We got to micro analyze every slip. And I was like, oh, Mike prefers CMC to Gibbs. Is this new?
It's probably Gibbs here on half PPR, even though he's a good pass catcher. The CMC ceiling on like DK. Gretch and I did our NFC West podcast, so it has me feeling the CMC ceiling a little bit. But yeah, I was talking about the Judkins stuff because I've started taking him when he really falls in some of these slows that I'm in.
Yeah.
And sometimes he goes like early, like where his normal ADP is or ahead, and then sometimes he'll slip like 20 picks. So it's hard to know like where the actual quote unquote ADP value is going to settle. If like when I'm grabbing him at 112, if that's going to end up being a value or if he's going to sink even further than that. It's definitely an interesting one because we just really have no idea where that's going to go. But I like, buying the dip there and also being aggressive on Sampson. I don't think you have to decide one over the other necessarily. I just don't view Ford as a big roadblock there.
And based on my drafts this morning so far, I mean, there is no ADP that is more fake than Dylan Sampson's right now because it's at like 169 and he's been routinely going in the late 120s, early 130s in all of these. So no, the secret is out on Dylan Sampson. I'll get your guys' ranks pulled up here in a second, but I assume you guys made a pretty big move on.
We did. I'd have it. I'm checking with the guys to make sure we have like the ADP not influencing things because the ADP we're pulling in is 155 for Sampson and 95 for Judkins. I think I'm taking Judkins more like the 115, 120 range. And then Sampson, I haven't gotten to that point in my
155. Yeah, I was referencing his old ADP. Sorry.
Yeah, but still, I think I'd have, be willing to take him, in the 130s.
Tyreek, Bucky, JT, by ADP, JT, Bucky, what do you like?
Kind of like Tyreek here, and then probably.
Whew, that was weird. I switched him to the top, and then he went down, and then ended up on our team. So we will take it if we got the pick we wanted there. Yes. So yeah, Tyreek, he's now really moved up. 1-2 turn, but that was the top suggestion there for you guys. Feeling pretty comfortable with him in the mid to late second there.
I think so. I mean, I wouldn't say like 100% confident. There's definitely still, some concern with the age and just how things could play out there. But ultimately, if Tua can stay healthy, the O-line's improved. There's so much ceiling in an offense that can produce that type of pass efficiency that is such a funnel in terms of targets per route run to the very top of the target tree there with Waddle and Hill that I think it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
That's like not a great spot of the draft if nobody falls. But like I do think there's a teardrop off after Ladd.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to convince myself that JT and Bucky are in there, but I get it. Jacobs has been falling here. You want to grab him as our RB1?
Yeah, I'd take Jacobs. I was kind of hoping that one of those backs would fall when taking Tyreek there.
Yeah. The Chase Brown, I do notice him kind of flipping Jacobs despite their ADP just because the one hole likes to go in on that Arizona game there with the Cardinals. I actually had the opportunity to take Josh Jacobs, I think in my second draft, but I had promised the chat I was going to only draft fun players. So now you're on the show and I have permission to draft not fun players. So thank you.
The coolers here. We're gonna be...
It's not the cooler. No. They're going to be better teams. It's more like, the adult in the room has showed up and said, "Hey kids, stop drinking. It's time to sober up and figure out your life."
Gretch made a comment in the ship chasing Discord once that I remembered that stuck with me about learning from me that you have to eat your vegetables sometimes. That's my brand in the best ball space. The guy telling you to eat your vegetables.
Right. As opposed to, you have this take and then you go on a warpath, an ideological warpath to show that you have this slight lead in every single thing you do. It's like, okay, it is okay to take Josh Jacobs a couple times right here. Yeah. So we start CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Josh Jacobs. I've been noticing this morning, and it's less badges in way more early quarterbacks. Lamar went at 26 in the first draft. Josh Allen went at the 2-3 turn both times. So I feel like we might get that late draft season quarterback push up that generally happens when the new guys come in.
Yeah, and that's tough because I haven't been getting the elite quarterbacks much. We almost got a really big Kittle fall, which would have been nice.
DJ Moore, we're not going to touch Rashee here. J-Mo Pickens.
I think it's DJ Moore. I mean, not to be boring, but so far I'm like in line with most of these recs here.
Yeah.
DJ seems like he's starting to fall a bit more to this range as opposed to being at the 3-4 turn. And I keep taking him. I'm potting with Gretch actually after this show about the NFC North. It's the last in our offseason projection special. So I'll get his take on it, but I felt like early offseason we got the Chicago hype and the prices weren't super great. It seems like all the prices on the Chicago guys, except maybe Rome, have kind of slipped a little to where I'm excited. And I think the uncertainty favors being in on the Bears and hoping, year 2 quarterback with huge upgrade in terms of the head coach. We could see a really big swing investment in the O-line. Not a, super spread out target tree. There's some stuff, Burden versus Loveland in terms of who's going to see the field more, but.
Yep. This will be an interesting spot depending on what Jump Free does. He goes Waddle. I was going to say if we wanted to do the 2 a double, but Kenneth Walker, you guys are actually, he's moved up ahead of ADP relative to your rank. Zay, Calvin Ridley, Kenneth Walker. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm a Kenneth Walker slappy for sure. I'm pretty into him. I think
the market is.
I was excited. Gretch is like 3rd round on Walker. He's like very high on Walker.
Okay.
Maybe it was 4th round. I don't want to misspeak, but I was glad he was high on. I just, the argument I made is like there's a little bit of Achane to him in terms of the argument for him, where we know he has this breakaway speed, this breakaway potential, and then we were concerned last year that new coaching staff maybe would shift the workload away from him. If anything, they've just shown they really love him, and some of the moves they've signaled this offseason is they want to run the ball more. They want to run the ball more efficiently. And I don't know, I'm just pretty excited about that skill set in this round, in this stage of the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to say, like, when we like our first drafts we were doing, like Ken Walker had a 5-6 turn ADP, and he's now definitely moved up into the early 5th. so that whatever discount is kind of gone. But I think there'll still be a decent enough resistance with the receivers at this 4-5 turn. Would, if both were available, would you have entertained the Waddle Tua double there? Or would you still have been Walker?
It would have been, I think the smart move probably would have been to take Waddle and just invest in Miami. I understand that sometimes people are like, well, they're not both going to hit their ceiling, but Miami's a unique case. And Herzig was telling me this when I kind of had us pass on the Tyreek Waddle together in a draft I did with him. But if Tua stays healthy and the passing offense is good, like Waddle and Tyreek should both be very good, right? Like their success cases are actually kind of correlated pretty positively there, because so much of what the market's baking in is like to a health risk or line risk, like the systemic offensive risk that if the offense goes as planned for Miami, Tua, Waddle, Tyreek together all should pay off their ADP.
Yeah.
I think they're like more positively correlated than some other stacks, and all stacks and offense are obviously very positively correlated.
All right, we're about to pick here at 6-8, getting the typical Joe Burrow slide as the heroes who used to take him naked have officially given up. We do not have any Bengals on this team, though. Jerry Jeudy, Jordan Addison, Caleb Johnson could be in the mix. Obviously, David Montgomery as well. Jeudy, Myers, David Montgomery, what do you think?
Ooh, that is a Leone list of options, huh?
It sure is.
I go Jeudy here.
Yeah, that was my lean as well.
And sometimes the solver assistant, if you have the ADP value up, will tell you to like take the unstacked quarterback. I'm not doing that, especially on Burrow. But just if people are confused why he's green, I just think that's in the ADP value on him being overrated.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was always like the ADP was always kind of fake. That was always what was so funny about like not letting him fall back to the 6-7 turn. It was like his ADP was propped up relative to his value because of stacking. So if he slides, he's just getting closer to what is a fair price anyways.
Absolutely.
All right. So we have our 2 running backs, Jacobs and Ken Walker. We got our 4 wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, and Jerry Jeudy. We are about to pick here in the early 7th round or 7-5. By ADP, we're looking at LaPorta in the 2 Packers wide receivers. People have been into Diggs after the announcement he's not going to open up on PUP. There's been a little micro steam on him this morning. Golden goes. What do you think here?
I think I'd go LaPorta here. I like him in this spot. We're pretty good on running back and receiver. I think this is start of the range of tight ends where people are starting to maybe undervalue the tight end position. And I mean, LaPorta, obviously it was a weird season and he didn't totally smash, but he was the tight end 1 overall 2 years ago. I think he can get back to sort of that level of production, which won't make him the tight end 1 this year with Bowers and McBride up top, but it would keep him pretty firmly in the top 5 tight ends with a lot of spike weeks with his efficiency. So I like him here, and it does potentially allow us to do a 2 tight end build depending on where we go from here.
Yep. Yeah, it's always funny how that, it's almost like a similar dynamic to how we used to discuss like dead zone backs, where it's like LaPorta and Hawkinson now fall in this like tight end dead zone, and it like feels like spooky. It's like, I'm not getting an elite and I'm overpaying relative to the like Ferguson and Goddard types. But then when you really think through like how their profiles have been historically, the contingent upside they have in their various offenses too, as well as just the ability to have 2 touchdown type spike weeks, you can really start to kind of sell yourself on it for BBM, where we know the whole point of wanting good tight end scores is that they can be, you had to have it scores in the 15, 16 pods where you like, if LaPorta has like 2 touchdowns and separates by 7 or 8 points from every other tight end, like he's going to be on like 50% of the advancing teams.
Yeah, and I don't really see a reason why his volume couldn't get back to where it was his rookie season either. He's had a big dip there, a very strange start to the season, but I think he could get there even if it isn't purely on target share, but just this team's probably going to have to throw more this year than they did last year.
All right, we are on the clock by ADP. Pittman, Mayfield, Cup. Assistant is pulling up Caleb Williams, also likes Pittman and Cup. What do you think?
I think I'd wait on Caleb and probably go favorite receiver option here.
Do you like Jaden Higgins too, or who do you want?
I do like it. Actually, I think I probably would move Higgins up the most, with it being the 5th wide receiver on this team. That's where if I'm taking more running backs early or elite quarterback, and I only have 2 to 3 wide receivers, I might lean a little bit more towards Pittman, just kind of safer production. But as a 5th wide receiver, plus some of the wide receivers we took, like Judy, I'm not interested in stacking. So I do like opening up this stacking avenue. Pittman makes that tricky because you're talking about dimes or A-Rich gamble late. Stroud is, you can take Stroud with, a super late Schultz, or, the slot demon, or one of the, with Noel too. So
Do you know what, Leone? I just want to pause and say where we've come from the beginning of the season. I knew, even though the draft assistant said that and had 2 other wide receivers, as we were talking it through, we've had plenty of conversations about that 5th wide receiver, trying to get the rookie upside in if you've been veteran heavy. And at the last second, I got Higgins up before you even said it because I knew where you were going. We're like Rodgers and Devontae Adams at this point.
I love it. And it's hard because sometimes I can't see a lot of names, so I kind of like forget.
I will just put Caleb in the queue here just in case.
I think it's Caleb. It's a little early, but I just don't think he's going to make it back. We do have like Goff and Stroud later on, but I think I'd just go Caleb here. What do you think?
Yeah, I did. There was nothing else like really jumping out. I mean, this is such a flat part of the board. You have, you have the Judkins fall, you have the Tyrone Tracy types, you have all the quarterbacks. And so it's like, I think you just make the best decision for your team and you kind of don't worry about 5 to 10 picks of ADP in this range.
Yeah, because he's probably not coming back. We had a quarterback run. And, you do sometimes earn some of that ADP value back later by not having to then stretch on your next stacks, because you've already got one locked in. There's a lot of pressure if you take this swing on Caleb coming back. He doesn't. And I do like Burden and Loveland are starting to fall where you can get them in these rounds after. So it does open that up as well. I know at some point we got to get back to running back, but...
Yeah, so we got Caleb Williams at quarterback, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker at running back, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins at wide receiver, Sam LaPorta at tight end. And this very funny comment here from Jeremy: this wide receiver room is like a Pete 7 and a Leone 10. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Hey, I like this wide receiver room.
I forgot we have Dak too, Val. We're looking pretty good on I think we're going to go 3 quarterbacks here.
Yeah.
If Dak fell, I wouldn't mind him here and then just playing it to see how lucky we could get with maybe Stroud and Tua as the backup as the 3rd quarterback. There's also, did Goff go?
No.
Goff didn't go. I mean, I much prefer Dak to Goff, but I'm just thinking about our options. We actually have a lot of flexibility here.
Yeah. Dak definitely looks nice unless you want to grab Burden here and try to push the QB2.
So I think I'd go Dak because I think Burden's been dropping that he might come now, but that's tough. I'm a little bit more in on Dallas than even our ranks have it.
Yeah. No, there's no problem with that. And it opens up Ferg, and there's also still Loveland. Like, Burden's nice, but I also like, we always talk about this. I don't want to be overly precise with it, but similar into how I think about like Noel and the slot demon. I think a lot of Burden's like Uber breakouts might come at the expense of DJ Moore, as far as like him not being as big of a thing. Obviously there's ways that they both can get home. But I don't mind tilting away from that specifically on DJ Moore teams.
Yeah. Burden and Loveland both go. Oh God, we're staring Najee down again.
He's been sliding to the 140, so I wouldn't take.
Yeah. What if we go Kirk here?
You mean slot demon?
Slot demon here.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay the square jar for your guests? How does that work?
I'm not gonna hold you accountable, but I will be sure to correct you.
Would you, if we didn't get a good value on Stroud, would you be open to like a 2 quarterback team here? Because we may need to pile on a lot of running backs late the way this is.
For sure. Or you get in the spot like Pat and I had a 2 quarterback room earlier. And I want to say, it was Maye and Justin Fields. That won't surprise you. And then we got Geno, we had Bowers, and we got Geno 20 picks past ADP. And it was like, yeah, let's do the third. I could see that happening with, say, Tua, right? Where it's like, hey, we're good at this. And then Tua slides. Let's just pull the trigger. So I like the flexibility on the tweener 2 QB, 3 QB.
Yeah, we can go late on Stroud to can you go to our receiver room? I just want to see it real quick.
Yeah, CD, Tyreek, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, slot demon.
Okay. So we're looking probably one more receiver, but no more than that.
Yeah, in the running back room, obviously, we have Jacobs, Ken Walker up top, but then haven't gotten there since, partly because there was a pretty big run. Spears goes well ahead ADP in this one.
Tua goes early.
Tua goes, they heard us talking and they said, Omega King said, no.
I wouldn't be surprised if his ADP started to come up. Like
Tua's.
I mean, you've got, if the person who's got Waddle or Tyreek, it's such, I don't know, it just seems to me like that's a candidate for his ADP to rise, where people are just have this bad taste in their mouths from last couple of seasons, and that'll kind of wear off as the draft season goes on, and they'll want to make their stack.
Our draft rooms love giving us Javonte Williams. We could also take Ramondre here, though, if we want to mix it up, because Ramondre's here.
I mean, I'd go Javonte. We got the stack. We're going in on Dallas.
You're right. You're right.
I'm sorry that we have to eat our broccoli here, but we're also going to probably have some speculative running back picks late. I promise you. Don't worry, everybody. We'll get some rookie running backs in here late.
I just wanted to say there's shades of eating your vegetables, and there's some you get some really fresh broccoli from Whole Foods or something. That's not what this is. This is like Javonte's like frozen peas that you just thawed out and throw on your plate. I mean, these are vegetables. Technically, I think there's some nutrients in there.
I was just gonna. Oh, sorry, I didn't. I saw Samson.
You want Dylan?
I wanted Dylan on the way back.
Yes, that Samson would have made sense for sure. What about to the other consideration here is if we wanted to grab Ferguson as our tight end?
Yeah, I'm torn on that. And if we're doing Stroud, this is the moment to do Stroud.
No, Stroud's gone. He went out.
Oh, Stroud's gone. I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He's what got. All right. So let's go to quarterback anyways. I think it's probably Ferguson. And then we could even be between. Yeah. It's Ferguson.
Yeah. Now we get this big Dallas stack here. That's pretty nice.
And we could theoretically have a 2 quarterback, 2 tight end team, which we have not done much of.
Yes. So here's the team so far. 2 quarterbacks, Caleb and Dak Prescott, 3 running backs, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, and we add Mr. Frozen Peas himself, Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, and the slot demon without their quarterback, Sam LaPorta, and Jake Ferguson. So, I mean, we're in good shape. We just got to slam some fun running backs.
Yeah, I wonder if we could even get a 2-7-7-2 in. It feels weird to do a 7 running back build when we did start with 2 running backs in the first 5 rounds. So we're going to have one spot to play with. I guess we're looking at 2-6-7-2 with one spot to play with.
Mm-hmm.
That could really go anywhere.
Yep. Yeah, it is one bummer thing about that. I guess you have the Colts quarterbacks, if you want to do uncorrelated. I mean, Anthony Richardson is the perfect uncorrelated quarterback option. But beyond that, we don't have anything on our team. It's also super unfortunate. I wish we just had some kind of lean at quarterback for the Browns. I guess you could say Joe Flacco, but something that could actually help us in Best Ball Mania. It would be nice to have an option deep.
We were joking, Gretchen and I, when we were doing the podcast for Cleveland. I don't think I've ever had a team where there were more options available at play. There's 4 quarterbacks that legitimately could play meaningful time. 4.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It would be such a fun game theory. I guess if the team came out and said each quarterback is going to play 4 games and then the best one is going to get to play in week 17. I guess that would make them all undraftable, but it would be very fun to discuss.
Gretch was wondering if we might see something we haven't seen in the NFL much before, which is a lot more split quarterback stuff.
Yeah. We're on the clock. Roshan as a running back and paired with
Yeah.
Caleb is the top suggestion, which I don't mind.
I think that's the right pick. Just
Yeah.
invest in the offense. We're going to need running back shots. If the offense is going to outperform expectations, there's going to be a lot of touchdowns, and Roschon could be that short yardage back. And we've probably only got one more wide receiver pick, I guess possibly two, but there wasn't anyone there where I was dying for. Wow, I'm always afraid to say too much.
Yeah, I mean, we were just outside of this run. I like Algier. Blue goes, Eckler goes at 162, Bigsby goes at 163. And like the value pocket had like swung back to wide receivers there, like Joshua Palmer and stuff. But it's like we didn't need it on this team. So
I was interested in Blue and just like getting this Dallas backfield. I guess you could still do it with Miles Sanders and just bet against Blue. I have no interest in Thielen on this team.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
Ford, Shipley, Sanders, the assistant. Yeah, Thielen, I think.
Did Noel go?
You want to get 3 here? Hang on. Do you have like Ford, Dowdle, Shipley?
I kind of like Shipley for our team.
Yeah. So my thought, like, I guess you would be interested in Higgins, Slot Demon, and Noel without Stroud?
Oh no, I think in my head we had Stroud. No,
Okay.
that was just a mental.
You gotta
lapse.
let him go, man. He went at pick 131. He's not walking through that door for this team, Michael.
That was honestly that was what was in my head. I was like, I had mentally placed Stroud on this team. Is what happened.
I think Shipley is a good pick for us there. We
want the upside swing. We could have taken Ford or someone boring, but we don't. I mean, we're going to cover the early weeks. We took 2 very early running backs, and we took Javonte Williams. It's just kind of needing depth here. I'm in a weird spot because usually, like, none of our positions are really in bad shape right here. Sometimes I'm going more like getting Stroud as that third quarterback, so I'm like lacking a little bit more clearly somewhere else. But since we've only gone 2, and I think probably honestly just gonna stick with 2 quarterbacks.
Yep. So here's the team: 2-5-6-2. Caleb and Dak. We go Jacobs, Ken Walker, Javonte, Roschon, and Will Shipley. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins in the slot demon. Sam LaPorta, Jake Ferguson. I'm also being accused of misleading my followers with Dylan Sampson hype, a player I have not been able to draft once today because he always goes ahead of where I'm comfortable. But yes, I am trying to lead them to demise by chasing Dylan Sampson up the board.
Can you open the playoff matchups widget?
Yeah. Good call there. So we have a little bring back on Cleveland and Green Bay for Chicago. Dallas, we do not have any bringbacks with the Commies, Chargers yet, so that could be something we think about a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got 3 more picks here.
I was going to say this McMillan price is starting to get pretty juicy.
Do you want to do the Sanders thing? I don't mind the handcuck at these prices.
I like doing the Sanders thing. Yeah. Just bet against Blue, and we have a spot to play with too. So I do like it.
Yep. And then, for bringbacks, San Francisco at these prices, there's really nothing. Commies at these prices, there's really nothing. So we might just have to let that go.
Yeah. That's okay. It happens sometimes.
I just want to point out, this is even funnier to me. That comment came from 2 mules in a cart, and he's admitting that he did it with speech to text. And I just love someone walking around, watching this stream, being like, you're fucking misleading your followers with this Dylan Sampson bull posting. You got to cut it out. You're going to lead them to ruin. Send message. Please tell me you're out in public saying that, 2 mules. All right. 2-6-6-2. We still have 2 more picks left. Is it a third tight end?
I think if Auden comes back here, he does not as soon as I say that. I was going to say, like, we got a little Miami correlation there. But let's go to receiver. We definitely need a receiver.
Yeah, draft assistant likes Calvin Austin, Dante Thornton, Noah Brown. There is a wide receiver suggestion there. We're on the clock. To me, this is definitely more of an upside dart here.
Yeah, what's that? So Thornton's the upside dart. We drafted him like 3 weeks in a row now, though.
I
What's
know.
that tight end, real quick?
Yeah, Waller, Schultz, Juwan Johnson,
That's
Freiermuth.
fine. That's fine. Let's just go Thornton.
I know you wanted to suggest Schultz, and then I was gonna have to remind you that we don't have CJ Stroud.
No, I had moved past it. I did. I swear to you, I had moved past it.
No, I'm with you. We do end up drafting Dante Thornton a lot. This is the first time I think we did it without Geno Smith.
Yeah.
But again, trying to get some wide receiver upside here.
So now this is like the freebie pick. It could go anywhere. There's a couple guys I like.
Yeah, because we lost. There's the quarterbacks are off. I mean, there's no
No.
that Richardson would have been the only guy I would
I
have really
think
considered.
Freiermuth's fine at tight end in round 18. He's still going to be a decent part of this offense. Gretsch has him and Jonnu tied for second on the team in targets. So he's an option. Fannon's been like an upside throw that I've made late. I know Crane's really into him. That makes sense with this tight end room. If he's there, I could have missed him going.
No, he is. The tight ends are getting pushed down now because this is, I think, my fourth straight draft where Arroyo has gone in the 16th round. So that's like the trendy push up with Noah Fant out of the mix.
Fannin does fit this team pretty well. Can you go back to our running back room?
Yeah.
I don't even think it was. I mentioned going 7, but it's really not in bad shape. It just, we were kind of so solid elsewhere that I was thinking maybe going 7. But I think I'd lean Fannin or Freiermuth here.
Yeah. Yeah, the running backs, you could do the double running back with Monangai too. Taj Brooks, you could do Raheem Mostert, Corum, yeah.
I'm not, like, Taj Brooks is interesting to me too. I'm just not sure what the best pick is for us.
Yeah.
Freiermuth's going to play a bunch. I mean, Fannin's the upside swing. I'd probably be Freiermuth or Fannin.
Yeah, I mean, I get LaPorta Ferguson's a pretty nice duo. Might as well take a really big crack there. Yeah. And we have Judy, so I like getting another kind of correlated piece.
Yeah.
2 mules and a cart. I will answer your question. Just so I get this straight, you think Samson should be drafted ahead of Ford. Not only do I think that, but literally every ranking system you subscribe to will think that, as will the market. So if you think every single person in the best ball universe is wrong, boy, is there a generational buying opportunity for you, because Ford will be below him in every single context.
And like, Ford's stock has improved, as there's more uncertainty in the backfield, but the problem is he's competing with 2 rookies for touches at the end of season when you need them most. And generally when you're taking backs at the end of drafts, it's swings that you want end of season, especially like in our room. We have Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, and Kenneth Walker. Like, we don't need the Jerome Ford touches early. If you do a full 0 running back team and, you're starting, Jaydon Blue and some of these guys are like your top running backs, then there's a pretty good argument to make that you should be taking Jerome Ford at the chance of like a ton of touches early. But that's a pretty specific kind of strategy that you'd have to be employing for Ford's fit. And the market, shows this and the discrepancy in the ADP.
For sure. And that's the thing. There are going to be teams where Ford is going to make sense for your team. I mean, Pat and I were looking at him on this team we drafted. Like, look at the rookies here. Obviously, we had Sampson, but like conceptually, Trevion Henderson, Tuten, Dylan Sampson, Taj Brooks. Like, we took Miles Sanders because it was like, we need someone to help buoy production. So this is more of saying, just in straight ranks, yes, Dylan Sampson is going to be well ahead of him. But yeah, there's going to be teams, there's going to be prices. It's honestly, though, the Ford bet has obviously gotten more favorable, but like, he becomes increasingly riskier as his price rises, and like the opportunity cost of some of the guys he's going around becomes greater than it was when he was free. Let's see here the final
that was
recap.
A fast draft.
I'm telling you, well, I've been sneaking in 2 drafts now in my first slot just because we don't have the 30-second clocks anymore, so it's the 20 seconds just rip. Yeah.
I feel like such an idiot. Not only did I mentally place CJ Stroud on our team when we did not draft him, and you specifically told me he was gone, but I forgot. I was thinking to myself, the clock seems like it's going fast today.
Yeah.
And even though I knew they had gotten rid of the 30-second clock, I'm
When
sharp today.
When you get a bunch of badges in there and the 20-second clocks, it can rip. Although, man, I was so thankful last night we did the pros versus Joes. In the FFPC was the 60-second clocks, 20 rounds. We absolutely ripped. We got it done in an hour and 10 minutes. Even with that, where I was just like, everyone was just like, bam, bam, bam. Let's get to bed on time. Bam, bam, bam. I was like, go, go, go.
Dude,
Slept
I hope
like
mine's the same because I'm in a Sunday night one.
Yeah.
This Sunday coming up.
It is. It was fun. It was a fun draft. I like mixing in a little tight end premium there. Okay, here we go. Here's the team, Michael. 2, 6, 7, 3. Caleb Williams, Dak Prescott, and CJ Stroud at quarterback.
I'm ignoring you. I know what you're trying to do here.
Okay. You nodded as if you thought he was on our team. For the audio listeners, we don't have CJ Stroud.
Okay, maybe it took me a couple seconds to process, but I did eventually process it.
Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, Roshan Johnson, Will Shipley, and Miles Sanders, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, Slot Demon, Dante Thornton, and then 3 tight ends, Sam LaPorta, Jake Ferguson, Harold Fannin. It was fun to feel like we had like legitimately 2 luxury picks there at the end.
Yeah. You know what's also fun? Not only taking Javonte Williams, but taking Miles Sanders in the same draft. That's how you do it.
It's honestly, I don't mind it. Like you said, you get the ambiguity. The prices are all cheap. Javonte at 140, Sanders at 188. Yes, we're trying to win a massive contest. Do you think like, how you think about handcucking is different for, say, like a total points contest like the marathon versus a pod style contest? Is there any distinction for you there?
There's probably a small distinction in that the point style contest, you maybe are trying to nail okay, my cat just unsuccessfully tried to jump onto my desk. You're trying to nail the true breakout, right? That like has like the huge volume. Whereas the more week to week stuff, there is some value in it ping ponging week to week and maybe a little bit more floor in that you're always getting if the offense is successful, there's probably going to be a solid floor of running back points week to week, and you're going to get those no matter who it goes to. So I want to oversell the distinction, but there is a small distinction. And you mentioned there being a lot of like little bit of news. One of the little bit of news was just kind of a negative report on Jaydon Blue out of Dallas camp. And essentially, if he is close to a non-factor for Dallas this year, which isn't the craziest of outcomes, he's clearly the most fun upside pick. But if he's a non-factor, I mean, we're looking pretty good in terms of having Sanders and Javonte at those prices, especially being invested heavily in the Dallas offense.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess like the question, it's like, if you think even like the upside in this offense is you just get what Rico did last year, which I think is like a pretty safe like assumption. It's like, would you pick 140 and 188 for what Rico Dowdle gave you last year? Which I think you probably would.
Yeah. And, obviously are hoping to have more touchdowns than Rico had too. We're just hoping this offense really, really hums.
Yep. Yeah, so this team, we get the only thing that was a bummer was like not getting the second piece of like the Caleb double stack with one of the rookies. But I think coming back with Roshan and still getting an extra piece there, obviously not much week 17 correlation on this team, kind of focusing on the team bets. But I thought the overall like positional distribution worked out really well.
Yeah, and we did have the 2 picks, I think, where we went a little bit against the recommendations, understanding the archetypes are room needed. That was the Shipley pick and the Higgins picks, where Shipley, we knew we did the Javonte pick and we could take an upside swing at running back. We knew we were going to take another one. And Higgins, we had already taken, 5 early wide receivers. So there wasn't too much value in taking a floor guy like Pittman, especially in a half PPR format. The ceiling, you can talk yourself into a bit more on Pittman in full PPR, but Higgins is definitely the efficiency spike week play there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we're about to enter like a very fun period. I think specifically for these rookies and seeing how training camps are going, and there's going to be lots of stuff to throw us off the scent, and then there's going to be some meaningful stuff in there, and I think we'll see a pretty good shakeup of kind of like rookie stuff and how we're feeling about a lot of these, rookies who go after pick 100, essentially, whose position and playing time isn't as guaranteed as the others. Let's see here, Leon. This was my 75th draft. I think I'll do some exposure content this week. I'll probably write something up for Fantasy Life. We just have our new Best Ball Hub that also dropped here. Easy tool to upload your exposures, look at all your combinatorial stuff. So I'll probably have some articles up there this week reviewing things. But Leone, you want to play a little guessing game here? I'll pull up. You want to? I'll do BBM exclusively. Who do you think my most drafted running back is? And don't look here as I get it pulled up.
Most drafted running back in BBM. Okay, eyes are closed. I don't get any.
See how well you know me, the newlywed game.
I don't think I know you that well because I feel like you're a little less ideological than maybe like Pat can be sometimes. So like you can be a little bit more all over the place. I feel like you took a lot of Chase Brown early. I'm just trying to think when that price dropped. I'm gonna go Chase Brown just because I'm. That's probably a later running back that's easier to get ahead of ADP though.
Okay. Yeah. The cheaper running backs are easier, and I'm also appalled by how much Jaydon Blue I have in BBM. It's Bhayshul Tuten. I'm at 18.7% in BBM.
Chase Brown's on the screen.
He is. He was like early on that first like 2 weeks, 3 weeks when he was like mid to late third. One thing that's been really nice is Dylan Sampson was my most drafted like super cheap guy. So the 13.3% almost exclusively in the 18th round is very nice.
Yeah, the Tuten one, I've been starting to get more. I'm surprised how much he's slipped. There was a point where he overtook ETN in ADP, and I was like, man, it's going to be tough to get Tuten. I'm going to get a lot of ETN. And I don't know why, but it really just went the opposite direction hard. I think it's like a 30 spot difference now between the two.
Wow.
But I am kind of like going ahead of our ranks a little bit on both of those players in hopes that Bigsby kind of just was a flash in the pan last year. And if he goes away, those are two that can both provide value and obviously enormous upside if one of them just overtakes things.
Yep. All right. Guess wide receiver.
White hot. Jalen Noel.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, actually, did I finally get him down? Okay, I did get him down recently. It's been Juwan Jennings.
Wow. I started to get a lot of him. Thorman pointed this out in our Slack this morning. I think it's because of the holdout stuff, but he's slipping even though we didn't get like great health news on Pearsall and Ayuk. So he really shouldn't be slipping right now unless you're like really concerned about the holdout stuff. I've been grabbing a decent amount of Jennings. He was fantastic last year. He was more than just, if people are misremembering him as the guy that just had to produce because they had no one and he was just this routes volume play that like was forced into production, that really wasn't the case. His targets per out run was great. His yards per target relative to his volume was amazing. He actually had a really good peripheral season last year.
Yeah. I also just this comment's tilting me, so I have to address it. Gainwell did nothing. Stop with the 170 Shipley people. People are not drafting Will Shipley for the standalone value that Gainwell had in this offense. The reason the bet has been clean, or the bet people like it, is because the bet is now clean. We know who the running back 2 is, and if something happens to Barkley, we know Shipley's going to have a really big role. Any standalone value is just kind of like a cherry on top of like, oh, maybe bust off a touchdown and hit your lineup early, but you are playing for the contingent upside in one of the best offenses in football behind one of the best offensive lines in football and who the lead back would be there. So miss me with this Kenny Gainwell bullshit. Mike Leone.
Like Shipley's kind of fun too. It's not I mean, that's the other aspect. I mean, he's a versatile player, can catch the ball out of the backfield, has some big play upside. We didn't see in the regular season. We saw him bust a long run in the playoffs.
Tight end Leone, and I actually don't even know who this is going to be when I look.
Tight end. What tight end do you like? I feel like I need a hint of some sort. All right,
I don't know who it is. I'm about to learn too when I click over.
TJ Hawkinson. I don't know.
I think Bowers might be up here a lot. Like with Pat, like we'll draft Bowers in like early second, but let's see. It is, yeah, Hawkinson and Bowers tied up there.
Let's go. I got one.
See,
this chat really wanted it to be Schultz.
Look at this. I get all this shit for drafting so much Dalton Schultz. Let's go find him, guys. Where is he? Wait, where is he?
He was way up there. You went past.
Oh, he was way up there. There you go. 10%. He's 1, 2, 3. I was hoping it was a scroll. 3, 4, 5. He's my 6th most drafted. 10.7%.
I have a Hawkinson problem myself where we talk about like the room's probably undervaluing positionally just tight ends starting with like LaPorta and him. And if you haven't taken an elite quarterback, which I'm not doing a ton of, and the teams you haven't taken an elite tight end on, you've got 8 skill players on your roster, 7 to 8 skill players. And then it's kind of like, well, why would I not take the ADP value on a guy that I do think is good at ADP and I don't have any tight ends left? But there are times where I'm like, oh, maybe I should take like Igbuka as, a 5th, 6th wide receiver to get the rookie upside, just not to end up like overloaded with Hawkinson in that range.
It is funny because it's like, I like both like Hawkinson and Bowers at ADP, but I feel like I draft Bowers ahead of ADP slightly with Pat, and I draft Hawkinson ahead of ADP slightly with you. So it makes sense like how these guys end up at the top here. All right, I'm going to be very smooth at quarterback. But yeah, what's your guess?
Well, I mean, we know you have a lot of Noel. The chat says you love Schultz, so maybe I'll go Stroud. You got a lot of... No, you've been drafting with Drake May.
You know what? I barely draft Drake May unless I'm with Pat.
Is that like a house rule? Oh, so Stroud was 4th. McCarthy makes sense. Yeah, Stroud should have stuck with Stroud.
Because I have Hawk and Bowers, so McCarthy and Geno in my top 3. Brock because of Juwan Jennings, so it makes sense there. Stroud is my 4th, Cam Ward 5, Trevor Lawrence 6 there. But look at this. Pat would be so sad. I'm just breaking even with the field, 8%. Just let Pat get the Drake May clicks on my account.
That's sort of where I'm at on May. But I am starting to get a little bit more digs in that range, which might lead to more May.
Yeah.
I really wish, I know it's just too convoluted for them to do, but I wish I could see my exposures update as my slow drafts go on. Because I jump in 40 and I'm like, it's telling me I don't have a lot of Hawkinson. And I'm like, I just drafted him like 9 times in a row. This is not right. So I would love to check my exposures because I bet JJ, Dak, and Caleb, and Purdy, like those 4 are probably my 4 highest. And maybe Tua and Stroud in there. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that I'm this light on Caleb. He's down here at 5.3% for me. This is where are you at on the elite quarterbacks? I have 5.3% Lamar, 5.3% Jaydon, and 6.7% Allen, 6.7% Hurts. So I'm definitely light elite QBs.
I'm probably similar to you. I might be even lighter. I don't know. I really think the best way to play it this year is like from Caleb to Tua. If you look at positional ADP, I think it's like QB 12 to QB 22. Mm-hmm. There's so many guys in there that I think have upside to not be top 5, but back half QB1, and they're all stackable. And that leads into like the flexibility and getting ADP value if you're willing to know that you have these stacks back there. So I'm very light on the elite QBs. I definitely like the skill players better at that portion. I'm really only taking Lamar and Allen in the 4th round, and that seems to be happening less and less, as you pointed out.
Yeah. It definitely was one of those things where it's like because there was that stretch at the beginning, when it was all sickos and we were getting all the skill position guys. Like there were some pretty cheap elite quarterbacks, like mid 4th round. Jaydon would slide to the back end of the 4th. Those days just seem so long gone now. That it's going to put us in some, those of us that are light, it'll put us in an interesting portfolio dilemma of like, are we just okay letting that go, or are we going to force it to get it up? Those are the questions that are going to keep us asleep or keep us awake at night there.
Yeah. It's tough living.
All right, Mike, let people know, what do you got going on over at ETR this week? You said recording the last of the Establish the Edge pods.
Yeah, doing that. Actually gonna get a bite to eat and then knock that out with Gretch with the NFC North. So we're done a little earlier this year, which is nice for the both of us, and hopefully gives people drafting best ball teams a bit more time to consume that content and put it into play. So excited for that. And I think come August, there will be some more content with the rest of the Establish the Run team around redraft strategy and some videos. But for now, it's mostly just getting our ranks updated and continuing to make sure those are in a good place for everybody drafting.
Yep. And I'm primarily an audio listener. So there's the Establish the Ed podcast feed, but there's also this Establish the Edge YouTube feed, if you guys would prefer to catch those in video form, but just really, really good content. Like if you're watching hour 3 of a 4-hour best ball stream, then this is the exact kind of content you will like to consume. Hearing Gretch and Leone go in depth on these situations is a very helpful, both a primer and kind of a reset, depending on how some of us have been thinking about these situations. So definitely recommend that a ton. And then if you want the man side of the man versus machine, I got to recommend our ship chasing episode with Silva last week as well. Came in with some fun hot takes there. Is Silva in the projections chat battling with you guys on some of your ranks these days?
So we did this year add a new channel that's like just projection edits. That's like the true nerds. Before we just had one huge channel.
Yeah,
I had to keep the train on the tracks, so to speak. But we do have Silva in the other channel, who once in a while will just pipe in and just be like absolutely aghast at something that we have that's different to his. And sometimes we'll tag him and we'll get his take on stuff. I think there might be a main event in the works with myself, Silva, and Ben Gretch, so that would be highly entertaining if it comes to light.
Oh my God, yes. Yes, because then I think Gretch historically does a team with Silva too that has generally not been broadcasted, if I believe. And I think I've heard some stories about some fireworks between those guys. So I think we all deserve that content.
Fireworks, but I think Gretch has said they've made like the playoff round every year. So fireworks, but success, which
well, that's, I mean, over the years, having done so many different, co-manager type drafts, and that kind of happens even with you when we do our ship chasing drafts, where sometimes you get these like two, I don't want to say fully disparate, but slightly disparate strategies and styles. And if you like meld them together as like a way of meeting in the middle, then they like work out in a really good way.
Yeah, it's fun to do. And you definitely makes you stop and think if the position you have should be as strong as it is. And it's just, it's just a lot of fun with Silva. A lot of fun, a lot of hair pulling out as well.
Oh, I'm sure that's that's what people come for. And we'll have some more announcements over on Ship Chasing. If you guys are into the season long high stakes drafts, we're gonna have a bunch of those in August. We'll be getting together with Leone as well. Just got to hammer out some dates and stuff. But yeah, mid to late August, we will have a ton of those high stakes drafts. But Leone, great as always having you on. Any other final words? And then we'll bring on Mr. ChessLiam here for our final draft.
No, not really. Thanks for having me on as always. Looking forward to running it back next week.
Sounds good. All right. Peace out, Michael. And now coming to the stage, a man you know as the BBM2 champ, a man you know as my chess coach, a man you know who has never passed on the opportunity to overdraft James Cook. It's none other then Mr. ChessLiam. Welcome to the stream, Liam.
Thank you. Happy to be here, Pete. How you been?
I've been doing good. Yeah, I got a comment. It was a couple weeks ago. We were trying to get you on. People were demanding ChessLiam on Best Ball Breakfast. I said, hey, unless he's too big time for me, I think we can try to make that happen. And you were at the World Series of Poker initially. How was your trip to Vegas?
It was good. Didn't make any really deep runs. Gotten the money in a couple events, but happy to be back. I live in Florida, so I'm used to the heat, but the dry heat is just a different type of heat. It's just miserable compared to the humid heat. Big event for us this past weekend, the freestyle chess. I'm sure you were locked in on that as a former student of mine.
Yeah, you know what, Liam? Ever since I heard that these guys were putting butt plugs in there and cheating, it just kind of really tarnished the sport for me. I used to watch hours and hours of these tournaments, and then I'm like, everybody's just cheating, man. Like, where's the integrity? It really ruined the whole thing for me.
You know what's wild is that rumor came about from just a guy making a joke, and then that somehow was latched on as fact. It would be like if I just made if I made that joke that oh yeah, Pete drafts best ball teams like that, and then everyone was like, no, yes, this is how Pete is cheating at best ball.
Do people, because I'll see the clips of Magnus Carlsen. He's always very serious, and he shows up and obviously very disgruntled when he loses. When people act like that in poker, everyone's like, oh, poker's boring, it's just all these GTO bots. Does that conversation happen in the chess world, or do people just find him interesting no matter what he does?
For Magnus, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think Hans Niemann is the more interesting guy now to many people, where it's
okay,
Magnus is almost the bad guy. He's the corporate sellout, and Hans Niemann, he's this brash guy. He talks a lot of trash. He's young. He's I'll be America's first chess champion. Bobby Fischer existed, So most of the fan base seems to be for Hans nowadays, where I think he's exciting for chess. It's not quite a 1-to-1 with the stalling time, because you do have a clock, but I don't know. There are strong feelings on both sides of the Hans Magnus kerfuffle.
I wonder how long we could just talk about chess and see if we could we have 752 people watching live now. Could we bleed it to 0? How long would we go exclusively talking about chess to the point everyone would just wave the white flag? I bet we could go for a while until we went to 0.
So, hey, I could teach a lesson here. I played a tournament this past weekend. We could try.
This one's not even close. Can Liam name more Bills wide receivers or Pete chess players? I can name 2.5 chess players. I think there's
you
the
could
twins.
Name more than that.
Who are is it the Botez twins? Does that count me? Give me 2?
That's a. If what's a chess player? Because 10 people in the world can play chess for money.
Yeah, if you're gonna give me historical ones too, but I thought you meant current ones. It's I know Magnus, and I just learned Mr. Niemann. So yeah,
you knew Hans Niemann. He was a big talk around the same time. There was this snowball of events where you got the Robbie J. Lude poker thing, and then the Hans Niemann thing hit. And I think a Netflix thing's gonna hit soon. So I don't know. Anyways,
okay.
enough chess, I guess.
Enough chess. How's I just did my 75th BBM draft. I'm exactly at the halfway point for BBM. What are you at right now, BBM numbers?
I did 72 last night. I'm actually
okay.
I feel like I was above pace and now I'm below pace, but that's roughly what I like to do, save 75-ish for August. Where even August 1st, the first week of August, those drafts are no different than a middle June draft. It just depends what news hit, right? We don't have any real actionable news for a long time.
You mean some random guy saying that Jaydon Blue is lazy? That doesn't constitute real news, Liam?
Yeah, no, it's stuff like that. And okay, he falls 20 picks, that's how desperate we are for quote unquote news. Or last year, first week of August, Brian Thomas dropped around because he was going to be 4th in targets, according to a next beat. What? There's no the real news we could latch onto in the past is what comes to mind. okay, Kyron Williams is rested. Boom. That's like real news, right? Like Cooper Kupp is hurt. Okay, draft Puka. Tank Dell caught a preseason touchdown. Sure, that's real news, I guess.
I guess. I always love too when people say the winning lineups have already been drafted. The contest is only 40% full. Like just the math alone, even if you factor out the information disparity and us getting way better information, and then like the math is just like against that. And we just have not had any, like Dylan Sampson has been the biggest, most meaningful riser we've had. And even that is like negligible in the grand scheme.
I think J.K. Dobbins is the most meaningful, but other than that, like, okay, so there's J.K. Dobbins, there's Dylan Sampson, and then like
Sampson's rise is bigger than Dobbins, and he might hunt Dobbins just price straight up down at this rate.
I don't think so, because Dobbins was an 18th round pick, and now he's going as like a 10th round pick, right? Like
right. I mean, Sampson was an 18th round pick, and now he's going in the 11th. So I mean, I'm just saying we got there quick with him.
Yeah. And that even like is a little market overconfidence to me, where like I understood Stan Jerome Ford took a price cut, but Jerome Ford does something we like in the NFL. He's explosive. He can get there on like 5 carries. So, and maybe Dylan Sampson is bad. Like we don't know, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, Sampson is for sure the one there. I don't know. Seems pretty coin flippy to me.
The chat warned me that I would be drafting Jerome Ford with you. So I just know anything you say, I'm already prepared for. I have the ChessLiam roadmap, and I know that it involves Jerome Ford in the 16th round. I even refused to click him early because I knew I was going to get my share with you today.
What are you doing with Judkins?
I've been wanting to see where his price settles. I think once he gets into the like 120s, he's definitely a click. But we passed on him. Like Kerrane, they had him at like 100 in their ranks. So, but we're off to the races. 76 draft, Liam. We're on the clock. Gibbs, CMC, Puka, Neighbors, Nico. Who do you like?
For me, it's Gibbs, right? Like in my quote unquote, like if I just made vibe ranks, I think would be 2.
Okay, I love it.
After Chase, you know, just like very explosive. Love his week 17 game. What's not to like, right? Like I have him ranked straight up over Bijan. Just easy to see Gibbs like burying the field this year.
For sure. Yeah, we just talked to Silva on Ship Chasing the other day. He has Gibbs straight up 101. No, his ranks aren't best ball oriented, but still, I love clicking Gibbs. I'm just rolling ADP here. Unless do you have a CSV of your ranks? We can draft off of those, or we can just roll ADP.
Well, I'm fine with ADP. I do have my ranks, but I'm going to update them today. I didn't update them yet for the Judkins fall and the Rice fall. I took Rice last night at the 3-4 turn. I think he's going to make it to the 4-5 until we get more news. But just so like if he only makes it at 4-5 and not 5-6, then I'm fine taking him at the 3-4 just to have like a unique pairing.
Yeah, I mean, and his ADP is going to be, similar to the Jonnu thing, right? It just takes forever for that ADP to move down because of auto drafters, people seeing perceived ADP values. If you're trying to get unique combos, I think it's going to take a little bit for that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, Judkins is a weird one because he wasn't signed until he's not signed yet. And so I don't know. I think around pick 100, I mix them in a little bit, but it's like, do we even really want expensive Browns running back against the Steelers week 17? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't seem fun. I mean, everybody has a price. That's why for me, it's still like the 130s. Like I'm going to take Tajay Spears over Judkins, and then we can talk kind of thing. We start Gibbs. We're about to pick here at 2-7. Brown goes, so we're looking at Henry.
I think this is where you get your Henry. I have no Henry, so I would love to get I have literally none in Best Ball Mania. This is roughly where I have him ranked.
Yeah.
And yeah, like this is how I want to get my Henry. I want to get a unique combo of Henry. Like where else I want to get my Henry is the Eliminator, because you don't even need him to like hold up the whole season. You just need him to be like good the first 7-8 weeks of the season.
Yeah, although I don't know. He is more expensive in Eliminator.
Like I made a video talking about the riskiest players, and I highlighted CMC and Henry the straight up the opportunity cost is like, Drake London. I could see him being close to wide receiver 1 if things hit right with Penix. Ladd McConkey, don't want to pass on that. Brock Bowers, don't want to pass on that. Gene T, simply younger. AJ Brown, right? Like he goes in the first round most years. So I don't know, man. If the 31-year-old running back does it to me, he does it to me.
Well, trust me, I'm there with you. This is about the price. I get him a few times on stream around the same price. This is a friends and family draft. But when I first started making DFS content, like salary cap, DraftKings content, I was fading the big dog, like in weekly stuff. And, he doesn't catch passes. The dude has been burying me. There's my burying. The chat calls me out on. Yeah, he's been just shoving it down my throat for like almost a decade now. So I'm just, just going to do it every year. It just is what it is, Liam.
My first year playing best ball, he was actually like my guy. Like the BBM1 days, I only played on DK. I was like, oh yeah, first round. It was like Eckler and Henry. And then you needed Dalvin Cook that year.
All right. Jacobs goes. We're going to be looking at Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Mr. Josh Allen, JSN, Lamar. The elite quarterbacks were going early in my first 4 drafts today, sliding here with all the badges. What do you want to do after B-Friend times out? He goes Garrett.
I think either Josh or Devontae. I think pairing Henry, Josh, or Cook, Lamar is just like a fun pairing where you negatively leverage off the other quarterback.
Look, I drafted Devontae Adams twice this morning, and if I'm going to have ChessLiam in, and he's going to give me a 50-50 between the Bills quarterback and some random wide receiver, we're going to do the Bills quarterback. That's just what it's going to be.
I mean, this is a classic fun way to start, right? You're like, okay, I have 2 top 5 running backs. I have an elite quarterback. I have said that, like, if I was doing my vibe ranks, I would have Daniels 1. I just think that Josh, sooner than later, is going to stop stealing regular season touchdowns as much. Like, I think he'll still get the, like, the 10-yard rushes, the 20-yard rushes here or there, but are they going to QB sneak him at the 1-yard line if they're just beating teams? I don't know. Like, I kind of think eventually those will go away. And so who do those go to is a question.
And also, like, it's just how long can they play with fire with not having like a legit alpha pass catcher there? Because it's just like, we know, like, he's just such an animal even without that. But it's like, man, it would be nice if like every other team in the league, they made an effort to get him a legit wide receiver 1.
Yeah, and then the Ravens are kind of weird because, like, I do actually like Henry's playoff schedule for him, especially week 17 against Green Bay and Lambeau. Like, can't you just see Henry having like an iconic game there?
Well, wasn't it the year? Was it BBM1? Wasn't it Titans at Green Bay week 17? Or was it?
I don't remember.
It was one. I remember him in Lambeau. I want to say I might be, but yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, and then Lamar threw 41 touchdowns last year, right? Like that.
Yeah.
So, like, in a sense, that needs to regress. And so how does that regress? Like, number one, Lamar only rushed for like 4 touchdowns. So maybe Lamar gets closer to 8 or 9. So no real impact to Lamar. The other way it could regress is like Henry's getting the touchdowns. Are we doing the triple RB?
You want to do it? I'm down to go high T. Do you think we can dig
why is
ourselves
Cook
out?
highlighted gold there? What's
because we have Josh Allen. It's a teammate.
Okay, sure. Cook.
You want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is Pat and I did a 0
I'll
RB
try
team.
this at home.
Do you want to give? Last time I did a 3 running back start and a quarterback, I gave the people. You want to give them one of those, Liam?
I just did legs in the gym, so I don't think mine will be as impressive. But
oh my goodness!
I mean, Cook is like when you take Cook, tell yourself you're taking, 75% Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
And again,
right.
if Josh does stop stealing rushing touchdowns, probably like, okay, it could be Ray Davis. It's probably going to be Cook. The other what if with Cook is, what if he does start playing 15% more snaps? Because the year before it was like, oh, Cook will not be the goal line back, period. Then he was, right? So what if he does start playing a little bit more third downs? Now you're looking at a guy who could be a first round pick, right? Obviously, could go bad too. Could hold in, whatever. But I just like the Bills, like the Week 15, Week 16 matchups. Bills beat down Browns. Bills beat down Pats. That seems like a logical possibility. And then they're very high owned Week 17.
All right.
All right, we gotta get a wide out here.
I'm going to click off that. Yeah. Waddles, Flowers, Ridley. What do you like?
Let's do Flowers with the big dog.
Yeah. All right. We're just going to rip it in. Buffalo in Baltimore. The good players on good teams. That's what we're doing so far.
Flowers is a great one too, where it's like, okay, what if he simply scores 8 touchdowns? You know, like it is kind of wild that he wasn't a bad pick last year, and now he's 2 rounds cheaper. Clearly, people are not enthused about Mark Andrews if he's going pick 100. And
very not enthused.
You know, Bateman. I like Bateman, but he got there on efficiency touchdown, so I don't know. Flowers.
I like buying the Zay dip. I kind of don't. I think his dip has been more related to players moving up than people not necessarily liking him. But I think he's a great pick in this mid-5th round range.
Yeah, I'm not getting enough of him just because there's a lot of guys to like there, right? There's like Jameson, there's Smith, there's Pickens, there's Travis Hunter, Metcalf. I don't like Cortland Sutton, but some people do. The running backs, Hurts, but yeah, and the running backs are all pushed up, so that's pushing Flowers down. But I don't know.
Yep.
One of these years, we're going to look back and be like, oh, Flowers was wide receiver 8 in the 5th round.
Yep. Yeah, and the fun thing about Flowers is like he has the spike week upside. We had like I remember one of the BR weeks where I had that. I mean, against Denver, and he dropped like 28. And I think he has a sneaky high floor in the offense too, with the spikes, contingent upside. If somebody gets hurt, he's just good. So yeah, I think there's lots of ways he can get there. So here's the team. We dug ourselves into a hole. Gibbs, Henry, Josh Allen, James Cook. Now we're going to try to claw our way out. Zay Flowers. Have you done many like 3 running back or kind of hyper fragile starts like this?
Yeah, when I do it, it's usually like a combo of like Gibbs, Achane, Cook, Gibbs, Bucky, Chase Brown, Gibbs, JT, Chase Brown. Like not many with Henry. But I think we should be building some rooms like this, right? Like elite quarterback, 3. I think we're just building 4 running backs with this room, right? Like we've made our bets. Old school, hyper fragile, and then just load up at wideout, get a second quarterback.
We're getting some nice gifts here too, like Connor, Caleb Johnson going here, like pushing some wide receivers down to us. Judy does go, but we're going to be looking.
Johnson, yeah.
Jawan, Addison, Debo, Jacoby, depending on what League of Items does. What do you think?
I think Jawan, if he's there, if he's not,
I love Jawan here, man. Yeah, like, why is he sliding? It feels crazy to me.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right? Because he's sliding because he wants a new contract or something like that. But then Ricky Pearsall is probably going to be activated off of PUP this week. But I don't assume people to know that, right? Like in people's minds, a lot of people don't know that. They're like, oh, he's on PUP. Like that's bad, right?
Yeah. Well, and because it's like it confuses people, right? Because we're all expecting Ayuk to open up on the season-long PUP where he's going to miss 4 games at minimum to start, whereas the Pearsall PUP, he can come off whenever, but they got like lumped into that same tweet. And I wonder if like the connotation of like Ayuk PUP and Pearsall PUP is getting mashed together in people's minds. But regardless, like if Jennings didn't have this like fake little contract trade request thing, he would be skyrocketing right now with both of those guys listed on PUP.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about Ayuk and Godwin because like this whole time I felt a little uneasy about Godwin where, I mean, I understand people wanted to pay him, but he did suffer a catastrophic injury and now he's not practicing. We clearly got to do Shakir here if he's there.
Yep. He should be lots of good wide receivers in this range.
If he's not, honestly. I think we do Ricky and just do the double. With
that. Okay, yeah. Shakir. They get me for saying Khalil Shakir. Shakir is here. His hips don't lie. What were you going to say? You wanted to talk about Ayuk and Godwin?
Yeah, well, I mean, like Rice, Ayuk, Godwin. Okay, so like Rice, we've seen at least run like before the suspension came in, right? We've seen him run, so that is why he was more expensive. And then Godwin, he's not. The news came today that he is not practicing right now because of his ankle, and so it's pretty easy to see Godwin start very slow, and then Ayuk, like, okay, most likely he's starting on PUP. Out 4 to 5 games, ramps up week 6. But he still has outs to play in week 1 as well. But for some reason, Godwin holds firm in the 6th, and Ayuk is now available at pick 100.
The Godwin holding firm thing, wasn't the note was even from just this morning, not cleared for team activities. Like, I think we're going to just now start seeing the dip on him.
Right, but I mean, before that, like, why were we treating it that way? Is what I've been saying. Where it's like, look, I take Godwin. He obviously was like wide receiver 2 before he got hurt, but it is uneasy a little bit.
For sure,
Ibuka's one of my highest owned wideouts too.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just buying the Bucks. I draft Godwin too, but how do you feel about Ayuk as he enters pick 90, 100?
Yeah, I've been chilling on him, working under the assumption that the market is going to double count the pup stuff when it like finally gets announced. And again, I'm like now feeling out, are they still reacting to the that he's going to miss 4 games, or are they people holding out hope that he's going to come off? But I'm willing to treat him in the same way I'm like treating Luther Burden, now in that range where he's just like a high upside wide receiver, late season hammer, basically kind of a rookie.
Like, what's the line for Ayuk? Like, can he go behind Keon Coleman? Like, that'd be kind of crazy to me, right? Like, I like Keon. Keon could break out, but like, what's the line, right? Like, okay, Ibuka is fair, because they're both rookies, right? Cup, sure, but very quickly, it's like, are we taking Rashid Shaheed over Ayuk? Are we taking the rookies?
Ayuk does go at 90 after all that talk. I definitely like Higgins. I'm into any of these. What options do you like?
The wide receiver tab. Yeah, I'm cool with Higgins.
Do you have any? Unless you want to pound the table for Pittman or Cup.
I don't like Pittman. I don't like I don't like the Colts wideouts as much as the field, like the Josh Downs and everything. I would rather play it through Tyler Warren if I wanted to, but I don't know. Just see. Not hard to see the market getting enthused for Daniel Jones, maybe passing weapons as they get expensive, right? Like, I'm not taking those guys over Darnell Mooney, for example.
I do think you're completely right that the elephant in the room for the Pittman down stuff is the Tyler Warren. And like, if he's really good, like he is going to command targets in a way that mitigate the entire selling point of a guy like Pittman specifically, who's just kind of a volume accumulator. And if you have someone in that offense that's now finally competing for targets, that dents the thesis.
I mean, tight end eligibility for a while there, he was like way cheaper, right? And he wasn't getting more expensive. While down, like, where did Downs go in this one? 73 over Jaden Reed. That's insane to me. Like,
this is high. I mean, Pat and I took him at, I think, 88 in our draft. So there's a pretty wide band on Downs from 73 here, though.
I would never take Josh Downs over Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed's one of my most favorite flicks.
I love Jaden Reed. You know what? Like, this is the thing about this year, like doing these starts, like we're still going to get a
lot of guys we like. So I mean, we do have a lot of week 7 buys if you care about that. So I'm cool with Shaheed or Cup. I kind of just close my eyes and click Cup sometimes.
Yeah. He's a little slider here. Let's do it.
I think his ADP is fake because I keep seeing him fall into the 100s. And it's just easy for me to see like Cup being good friends with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold realizing this is one of his last years being a quarterback. I mean, like, screw it. I'm throwing the ball to my friend,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's like, I don't know if it's the perfect comparable, but it's kind of similar to like, remember when we all like Adam Thielen was really good in Minnesota, and then we kind of wrote him off after that dip, and then he comes back because he's just a good football player. Like, he's good, and that's like Cooper Kupp. Like, it would not shock me to see him have a bit of a renaissance. To me, it's like almost less of a Cooper Kupp thing and more of just like can Sam Darnold in this run heavy team support a wide receiver 2 like smashing his ADP at this price? That's more the conversation for me.
Well, I mean, I personally think the jury's still out on JSN a little bit as far as being like, he was good for fantasy. I don't view him as like a dominant wide receiver 1. Like he's not one of my favorite clicks in the 3rd round. And yeah, like I think Darnold's unfairly cheap, right? Like obviously if he gets benched late, okay, it's a disaster, but it's very easy to see Kupp very motivated, signed with a division rival, pissed off that I'm sure he got shipped out, cut from his like good friend's team. It's easy to see Kupp kind of like doing it for a stretch of time here. We have guys like Higgins, so I don't know. I think Keon would have been overkill there for sure as far as like stacking.
So we got our 3 running backs up top, Gibbs, Henry, Cook. We got Josh Allen holding it down at quarterback. And then we've ripped off 5 straight wide receivers, Zay Flowers, Juwan Jennings, Khalil Shakir, Jaden Higgins, and Cooper Kupp. We're about to pick here at 115. We're going to have plenty of options for quarterbacks. I guess I shouldn't say plenty. Brock is off the board. Lamar is off the board. We're on the clock here. Burden falls to us as well as a bring back on Jennings stuff.
I think we do that. I think we do that pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, that just feels like such a gift on builds like this to be able to get Higgins and Burden and get up to 6 wide receivers this quickly.
Well, this is why you should be doing some 3 RB elite quarterback builds or whatever, because it's like, I don't feel weak at wide receiver, It's like, sure, like, do I prefer some guys more than this? Absolutely, but Flowers and Shakir should be pretty target dominant. Jennings, we know, has elite single week upside and might just be like a league winner as well. Higgins, at least should have some big games. And then Kupp as well, a solid floor. Burden, unheralded upside. How do you feel about the Bears pieces? I primarily play it through like Burden and Loveland.
Yep.
And I looked today, I only have 1 share of Caleb. And I think it's because I'm not taking Rome and DJ Moore as much, and I'm not like backstacking Caleb as much as I want to. Like I want to have some Bears, but just curious how you're viewing it.
I'm the same as you. I'm almost fully out on Rome. I have like a 4% exposure blanket on DJ Moore. And I had just looked right before you came on with Leone, and I was only at like 5% Caleb for the same thing. I have a ton of Luther Burden, trying to get my Loveland exposure up. But I just did the backdoor on the Pros vs. Joes last night where I did Caleb, Burden, Loveland, and love playing it through those guys. All right, we are about to pick here at 11-6.
Goddard there is crazy. I think we just do Njoku. Like Njoku. Kraft. I mean, Kraft I like a lot too, and we do have the Ravens. So if you want to do the week 17, let's do Kraft.
We get Njoku week 16 Buffalo, which is nice too, though.
I'm okay with either.
Let's do Njoku. Okay. I keep saying that I'm trying to get my Kraft up, and then I'm not trying hard enough apparently. But I do like Njoku there.
He's one of my highest drafted tight ends, Kraft.
Yes.
Just easy to see him being like, I want a lot of the Green Bay passing game because I think, people are just viewing that wrong. He got hurt week 1. He wasn't fully healthy. We have like people quoting Malik Willis games as like them being run heavy. It's like, he wasn't even out there. I don't, and if you look at like historically what LaFleur offenses have done, it's not been so run heavy,
Yeah. So here's the squad so far. The 1 quarterback, Allen, Gibbs, Henry, Cook, and up to 6 wide receivers, Zay, Juwan, Khalil, Jaden Higgins, Cooper Kupp, Luther Burden. Nice mix of rookies and kind of veterans there too. And then we get our first tight end in Njoku. We'll have to kind of think about what our QB2 plan is. Not that it's a pressing need with Allen, but we do lose Stroud. Goff with Gibbs goes, but we
got Darnold as a break class.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe even we'll be doing 5 running backs because, like 11 wide receivers, 10 wide receivers might be overkill with this team. I like going the elite quarterbacks to combat this like 3 quarterback hive mind that's happening a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like 2 in the window.
Yeah. I mean, this could be a team too to just build out a backdoor stack with a quarterback we like as well. I mean, we're going to have to run to the podium and play the hits here with this tight end.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and
get it.
gentlemen, you tune
This
in.
is a
for one
win.
thing. We might have to do another when you draft Josh Allen in Dalton Kincaid with ChessLiam.
They
Play the hits.
my rooms don't give me this as much as this room.
They don't let
respect
you.
the facts.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't like, look, the dude got hurt. Former first round pick, tight end slow to put together. It's very easy to see any of these tight ends being a smash, and that's why I'm a little bit uneasy about taking like Brock Bowers, for example, at the 1-2 turn when he was going there, because just it feels like this will be the key to the season, tight end wise, getting the two right guys, Njoku and Kraft, Warren and Ingram, Ferguson and Loveland, whatever, Kincaid and Likely, right? Like this whole range is it feels so good. And like, just remember who we were taking tight end in the past year. This was like Tyler Higbee. This was Dalton Schultz. Like these are markedly different bets we're making in today's landscape at tight end.
Yeah, the whole tight end position, it was easy from the Deposit Kingdom had a chart historically looking at the tight end prices. And it was like, I think tight ends like 5 through 15 were all cheaper than the like average of the previous 4 years. Like they're just completely pushed down here. You are lucky that Dylan Sampson didn't come back to 150 because I was gonna float him.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine with me there. What does the running back tab look like?
Yeah, the running back tab is not good here. We have Jaydon Blue, Eckler,
definitely pass on that.
I
like LegUp if we want to keep doing wideouts.
Yep. Let's do LegUp here.
Sometimes we're gonna get Bryce the Wrap there too.
Small chance, yeah. Yep. The problem is the drafter. There is the Arroyo, aka TMac McMillan drafter, is behind us. Do you know that you're not allowed? What do you call the Panthers' first round wide receiver? How do you say his name on stream, Liam?
I say Tet McMillan.
That you got to pay the swear jar. It's a new rule. He doesn't like that nickname. His mom says she didn't name him that. You need to call him TMac or Arroyo, and we're donating $1 to charity every time we mess up, which I've done a few times.
If his mother wants to shout out the ChessLiam YouTube and start some beef, we're welcome. We're welcoming it. It's gonna be Tet on this channel.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to donate just for your indiscretions here. The other thing is we do not call the recent wide receiver that the Texans acquired in free agency by his government name. He is the slot demon. That is the only thing we're allowed to refer to him.
It's easy to look back on the season and seeing him be the key to the season at wide receiver as well, right? Like poor man's Tank Dell does a lot vertical slot.
Yes.
I mean, this is like Kyle Williams goes within 6 picks of Christian Kirk. Kyle Williams, Cam Scatabo. These are some of the most patently insane ADPs I've ever seen in my life. Jaydon Blue before the report, right? Like these are the most expensive 4th round, 3rd round, 5th round rookies we've seen without any news ever.
Well, on the flip side, historically good rookie running back class that's going to create a log jam where in a weaker year, they would have been, I think it would have been easier for them to push up even higher. And then you get really good situations with ambiguity. Like people want to take stabs on the Cowboys RB1, the Jags RB1. So I don't know. I don't find the Tuten, like Tuten goes 116 here. I took him at 130 in my first draft this morning.
Tuten Tuten, I think, is a different thing to me.
Are we going to do Josh Palmer and rip it in? Or
why not? Right? Like
the only difference is if like you want to ensure we get like Darnold or something.
But no one should take Darnold. Like the JSN drafters on our right side.
All right, we'll just go full Buffalo Bills. Joshua Palmer, wide receiver 8. They were worried about our wide receivers, and then we got to 8 of them by round 14.
It's also easy to see Palmer 7, 8 touchdowns. You know, he does something. He beats man coverage, and none of the other Bills guys really do. He's a better pick on half point, right? Like he's gonna be getting the Mac Hollins snaps most likely.
I honestly like at these prices. When I'm looking, like I'm heavy on the rookie wide receivers or whatever. It's like Dobbs, Palmer,
LegUp.
A little, yeah. Yeah, I guess I think of Leggett as being a little more boom busty, is not as high a floor as I kind of think like Palmer and Dobbs have.
Well, it's just like betting on a first round pick last year. You know, Leggett goes 50 picks after Keon, and there's not like, okay, I understand Tet is there, but
Yeah.
their rookie years were somewhat comparable.
Yep.
Yeah, and here I think we just take Darnold.
Yep.
Unless
Agreed.
this guy has a laugh.
Darnold as a QB4 would be a pretty epic troll job from BFriend18. So we're good. This one's coming together. We have a plan.
We get
and
the
it is
week
coming
17
together.
stack too. You know, we get
exactly
the Leggett Cup.
That's right. Leggett, Darnold Cup. We don't have an Eagle yet opposite our big Buffalo stack, but here's the team. Liam, Allen, and Darnold. We still got those 3 running backs: Gibbs, Henry, Cook, Zay Flowers, Juwan Jennings, Khalil Shakir, Jaden Higgins, Cooper Kupp, Luther Burden, Xavier Leggett, Joshua Palmer, and then Njoku Kincaid. This hyper fragile team is pretty fun.
Yeah, I love getting the 2 tight ends in the Njoku to Kincaid range. You know, Loveland Kincaid feels really good. Feels like we're going to beat a lot of teams at tight end. Feels pretty deep at wide receiver. How many do we have now? Do we have 8?
8. Yeah.
So it feels like we just have to take 2 more running backs then. We're not getting Shipley. He went right after us, so that would have been our only real Eagle to consider.
Yeah, but I think Darnold kind of became a priority there.
Darnold, way more important. And then, I mean, I don't know. Are there any Eagles you entertain? John Dotson? No.
Right. We did lose Jerome Ford. Pour one out, Liam, for one Mr. Jerome Ford as our RB4. But we got to take a big swing for this RB4 here.
Yeah, but I feel like we're going to be taking 2 running backs and a 9th wide receiver.
I would think this could be a 3 tight end team is where I would lean.
We could do that too. I mean, I just personally view like Njoku and Kincaid as such strong bets that you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could do a lot. You could take Rodgers and end up with Freiermuth if you really wanted a 3rd quarterback. Like, I don't think we should be doing that, but.
Well, what running backs do you like? So Sanders, and then we have some rookies.
I like the Sanders bet, right?
Yeah.
Is it not? I mean, Marshawn Lloyd gives us the week 17. But I mean, Sanders is a huge swing of upside, right? Like, it's just being like, oh, and we have a 4th starting running back is what we tell ourselves, right?
Yes, and he's going to have to hit our lineup in week 7 when the big dog and James Cook are on bye.
Yeah, I do think combining Ravens and Bills players is going to be unique-ish because just not many people are doing that, and they overlap this week 7 bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we add Sanders as our RB4, and now we just kind of have some flexibility because there isn't a must positionally at this point at 2-4-8-2.
No, I think what we'll do is like Lloyd and Wicks to give us the week 17 with the Ravens pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, we could do a lot of things. You could take Curtis Samuel if you wanted. Seems kind of overkill.
I think I have, you know how when a kid wants to smoke a cigarette and then their dad makes them smoke the whole pack to eat a lesson, to learn a lesson. That's how I feel with the Bills we've drafted. It's like, all right, we're going to take Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm going to teach you a lesson. When you want to draft a Bill, we're going to draft all of them. I feel like I've smoked enough Buffalo Bills. How about this, though?
Lloyd and Wicks go.
Would you want to do Arroyo stacked up? He's been going in the 16th in all these other drafts. We could get him double stacked with Darnold.
And I don't think AJ Barner's crazy. Yeah, I kind of thought Noah Fant would be cut this whole time. He was just guaranteed way too much money.
Wait a second. Famously, was Noah Fant on your winning?
Yeah, he's a BBM champion.
Yeah. So this is it. God closes that door, that chapter of your life, and ushers in a new era with the Seattle Seahawks.
I mean, what do you mean? I think Fant's going to sign with the Dolphins. I kind of view Waller as like it's a just in case, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Arroyo perfect for this team. I thought so too. Just seeing him go in the 16th too, all these other drafts, getting him here at 198 feels good.
Yes, certainly feels good. And I guess we just end this bad boy with a wideout.
Okay, get up to 9 here.
It could be a 5th running back too.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah,
see
the-
Noah Fant signing with the Dolphins. I could see him signing, like, I could see the Chiefs being like, "Oh, you're our future after Travis Kelce," kind of,
Yes.
or at least like try it out.
Yeah. Yeah. The most likely outcome is he's probably just a thorn in the side of like committeeing a tight end room where it like makes it messy in the same way the Seahawks one was messy until he left. Although
I mean,
there are a
Pitt-
lot of Barner truthers in the chat, I'm noticing today.
He was pretty good his rookie year, and Pitt would be the funniest place for sure. Just like the Fant Firemouth Janu team.
Let's see here. So like some wide receivers, you could do like Coker along with Leggett. You could do like a Troy Franklin type, an 80 Adonai Mitchell. I'm going to have to pay the swear jar. Who do you want here?
Let's do Yoshi Voss.
Okay. Talk to me on Yoshi. I haven't considered him on non-Burrow teams. Let me hear it.
I mean, the only thing I'm a little uneasy about is what if Jermaine Burton is simply ahead of him. But it does seem wrong that we're taking like Darius Slayton over Bengals wide receiver 3. I know that Mike Gesicki got a lot of work when like Higgins missed time, etc. But
yeah,
I mean, I feel like we should just be betting on cheap pieces of the Bengals. Good pieces to have touchdowns.
Yep. What do we have here? League of Items, who is next to us in this draft, just sent in a $5 super chat. I'm going to need some sauce with the understanding that you sniped me on Zay, which broke me, and then I star methoded DeAndre Hopkins at pick 162.
Inside best ball.
I don't think if you can't request sauce and then want to caveat it. I think all we have to do is say DeAndre Hopkins at 162. What a fucking fish over here, Liam.
I got to get in more stream drafts. and then he retaliated with Will Shipley.
He did. That was such an unnecessary.
When you make one bad bet, you got to absolutely bury yourself with the next. You got to parlay your bad bets. That's how you get out of that.
What are we doing here with Daniel Jones? Is it just raw dogging Daniel Jones as your QB3? I mean, come on. If you're going to do the Juwan Johnson thing, just take Tyler Shuck here, brother. Take some Tyler Shuck in your life.
Yeah, it's absolutely key. You got Brandon Ayuk. Just joking. He's not playing this year. You got Rachaad White, the third running back on the Bucks. Electric. Mason Taylor, absolutely essential to get pieces of the Jets passing game. I mean, like, couldn't think of a bigger key to the season than that.
Well, you have to get Mason Taylor as your bring back to Ramondre Stevenson. So I guess I have to allow it. It's basically our generation's Amon-Ra and Kenneth Walker, ChessLiam.
I mean, at least Juwan Johnson makes a lot of money, so that will feel good when he puts up a bagel on the season.
Oops, I meant Rashad Penny and Amon-Ra.
Oh, okay.
God, that Rashad Penny year. What an incredible time. All right, let me recap this team, Liam. Let's get your thoughts here on my 76th Best Ball Mania team here with ChessLiam, a 2-4-9-3. We went high T and Buffalo Bills heavy. You love to see it. Josh Allen and Sam Darnold at quarterback. Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, James Cook, Miles Sanders. Got up to 9 wide receivers: Zay Flowers, Jawan Jennings, Khalil Shakir, Jaden Higgins, Cooper Kupp, Luther Burden, Xavier Leggett, Joshua Palmer, and Andre Yosivas. And then 3 tight ends: Njoku, Kincaid, and Elijah Arroyo. How do we feel, Liam?
Feel great. I mean, the 9th wide receiver could have easily been a 5th running back if we wanted it to. Getting a unique Henry is how I want to play it, where Gibbs Henry is going to be combined ownership of like 1%, 2% compared to Henry going at the 1-2 turn.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of week 17 correlation here. We got simply the Bills just score well. I count that as week 17 correlation, even without a bring back, right?
Well, the team, we need them.
Yeah,
to
like
drop
if you
40.
stack up a team a lot, you're just saying like, look, this team goes off week 17. Boom.
Yes.
We got Darnold with Kupp and Leggett. We got. Did we get Packers pieces?
We didn't end up getting. That's why I didn't know if you were going to maybe go. You had floated Wicks and Lloyd there, and then we went Yossi.
No, they got after I said that they both got drafted.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's why you can't ever say anything on a stream.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Yes.
Just having a Gibbs Henry Cook combination feels real good.
Yeah.
Wideout room, I feel strong on, right? Flowers,
I did too.
Jennings,
We didn't.
Shakir. We get Higgins and Burden. Like those combined with Cup is a perfect little sandwich there. Palmer, Yoshivas simply hunting touchdowns on a high upside, 2 high upside offenses. Leggett, I view as an upside bet as well. It's
Yep.
You know what's fascinating is that Thielen goes like 20 picks ahead of Leggett, maybe sometimes like 30 picks ahead of Leggett on DraftKings, and then he goes opposite on Underdog. How am I getting that? Who's this private chat from, Mark?
Mark is our producer here. He's
Okay.
He's wondering if it's a best ball breakfast structure gami. If I've never done this one on stream.
Oh, it's got to be structure gami.
Yes, I love that. I've done, I think, one hyper fragile team, but yeah, it's probably unique there, for sure. But sorry, what were you saying there?
Nothing important, I don't think.
Okay.
But I feel like Miles Sanders is the perfect 4th running back on a lot of these teams, right?
Yeah, I think the only pushback I get is, at least in my head, I think of it as like these guys, Gibbs, Henry, Cook, are going to be hitting our lineup like the majority of weeks. I guess I think of Miles Sanders as more of like a high floor than like a ceiling guy who's going to like be putting up 20-point weeks. So I think I generally default to like, hey, let's take a DJ Giddens, a Will Shipley, who we're obviously considering, a guy who like has the contingent upside to be it. But maybe I'm underselling Miles Sanders' ceiling if he wins the job.
I mean, if he does win the job, we know he still has single week explosiveness, right? Like we saw that week 17. It was or week 18, really, for him. It was like a crazy game, but he's still fast, right? So I think it was okay to just take Lloyd straight up over him. But, like you take the DJ Giddens of the world, I still feel like there's going to be plenty of these years where we're like, oh, and actually the RB2 was Khalil Herbert or whatever there, like taking all these rookies, we're still kind of wish casting some of these guys. Like we're taking an effective 0. Maybe Sanders is a 0 too, but he's also simply the starter, period. 50% of the time, right?
For sure. But yeah, and I think the point you hit on too, and I mentioned, I forget which video or stream or whatever, but I do think we should be mixing in more of these hyper fragile builds. Like they went out of vogue in years past, but the reason they went out of vogue is because you would get absolutely punished at wide receiver. And we did not get punished in this room. Like we got both the quantity and we got the types of archetypes you want. Like sometimes getting punished means like all you have are like Jacoby Myers types and there's no rookies, they're all gone. But to be able to get Higgins and Burden, to be able to correlate, get targets, like all that stuff, like you can pull off these builds.
Yeah, it feels like, Flowers, Jennings, Shakir. Like the Jennings going to win more downfield. Shakir and Flowers going to be more target dominant. Higgins going to win more downfield, right? Burden, I don't know. Like, did you see the picture of Burden and Justin Jefferson? Good sign.
Let me look at it.
It's a good sign.
What were they training together?
Yeah, it was kind of like, I read the picture as like Justin Jefferson recognizing him as a peer.
Okay. Where was this from? Dude, look at that.
Does that not look hard right there?
Yeah.
Like
Jefferson's
it's like almost like him like looking up to him almost. Or
he's looking at him like, dude, I'm ready to hand you the baton.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, the new best wide receiver in the league. I love that.
I don't know.
There you go.
Looks good.
Let's see here. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Shout out in the chat. We had my guy, Mr. Mister, who took day off work to come and draft teams and watch the stream, gifting out 5 memberships. Appreciate you, Mr. Mister. As always, I should mention a few different perks with your memberships. All YouTube members are eligible for the Best Ball Bash, which is every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Basically, if you're a member, you'll be able to write in the chat. There's a hashtag which will enter you into a drawing, and I'll just spin the wheel. And whoever's name comes up, I DM them the StreamYard link. They come on and just draft a team just like Liam and I just did, a BBM team on me. If we make it to the Week 17 finals, we'll split any of the money. Have had a lot of fun getting to meet you guys. And then we also have the After Dark shows on the weekend. Those are for the Best Ball Value Hound members and higher. We always have a premium episode podcast there that you get access to. Plus, you can hop in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. We got gated channels that you can unlock with your membership. But Liam, let people know what's your streaming schedule.
How have those been going? I had that thought one year too. I was like, maybe I'll do like a kind of like a radio call-in show. Just like let some rando out there come on and draft a team. How have those been? Have there been any like, ooh, those are the best episodes.
So we've had a lot of fun. I would say our most eclectic guest came on last week. He didn't want to tell me what he did for a living, was playing very coy, but we inevitably pulled it out of him. And so I'll say you gotta watch that to figure out what our guest, the what, does as a profession. But yeah, no, it's been fun because, you get people who think about fantasy, somewhat similarly, but then everyone has their own spin, their own sleeper, their own structure they love. So we've been going down a different, path on all of these shows. So my diversity across my BBMs between drafting with Leone and Kerrane and Guess and Best Ball Bash, like, I don't know if anyone can have a more diversified BBM portfolio than me.
You can't make this diversity.
Yes. So yeah, appreciate everyone. Joey B was a guest on there, generally about 25 to 30 entries. So a decent opportunity there to get on stream. So that's on Wednesdays. And then what's your schedule? I never know your schedule. You do the show regularly with Davis. Is that the only like locked and loaded thing on your calendar?
Other than that, I still just kind of like fire off streams from I'm gonna do a stream later today, gonna update the ranks, gonna get an article written, then gonna do a stream. Pretty much just fire them off. Come August, I'll probably move to nighttime streams again. Have had some success with those, but just kind of fire them up. I do like 3-ish streams a week, pretty much.
Nice. Well, check out ChessLiam on his channel. If you guys are new here, I do this show, Best Ball Breakfast, every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Get subscribed to the channel. Also have a few other shows throughout the week, including Off and On the Clock with the Badge Bros. Tomorrow, we're going to talk all about the Badge Bros Brawl there as well. Swolecast is tomorrow. And your boy has been writing the overview.
Oh, God, that's got to be a juicy one.
For the overview.
This is a crazy saga. We got like you pushed off this start. I feel a little bit. I mean, clearly Davis knew this Willie Knows Ball guy, right? I'm gonna talk about this on stream too. Like, I knew Willie Knows Ball as a guy who just had like dog shit takes. No offense, Willie.
Yeah,
he was the guy crashing out over the arenas thing.
Yes, and people, these people, please talk about it. Tune into the Swolecast tomorrow.
I retweeted it, but like the guy's trying to like coattail ride a little too much. He's trying to
don't worry. Everybody's getting their proper body bag tomorrow.
Yeah,
everybody, including the people who want to talk about this. So Matt Murphy, tune in, and we'll put you in the body bag too, brother.
He's got the dopamine of going from like 5 followers to 1,000, and like the man doesn't even have his name attached, and he's like commenting on everyone's post, like give me credit. Like, dude, relax now,
Yes, the reckoning is tomorrow. You all desperately need to find better things to do with your life, but we do appreciate those of you who watch 4-hour live streams here on Best Ball Breakfast. Swolecast and Off and On the Clock tomorrow. Best Ball Bash randomizer. Our guest after the Best Ball Bash is PPR Tyler. Some of you guys might know him from the streaming streets. A young plucky upstart who we are going to put through the ringer on Wednesday. It'll be very fun. But yeah, that's it for me. Make sure you check out Fantasy Life too. We got the new Best Ball Hub up and running there. I'm going to have some content about that. Really fun way to review your exposures and portfolio, all that good stuff. Thanks to Leone. Thanks to Kerrane. Thanks to producer Mark. Thanks to ChessLiam. Thank you to Mr. all the YouTube commenters and chatters. We'll see you guys next time on Best